car, watch it go vroom, vroom. I told her mom that I bust soon. Hop in the car, watch it go vroom.
Watch him pull it down.
I'm in a whip, so I got a zoom. They tryna talk, they not in the room. I was so low, but I'm back on the
Pull it
rise.
back, throw in the end zone, got a man. Touchdown, King.
Hop in the car, watch it go vroom. I'm hopping now I gotta go. I'm looking back, they not even close. I had a 4, now I need a ghost. I got a wave like I'm on the coast. Same ones a doubt and I dare the strip. I cannot wait, watch how I get it and flip. This is how I'm doing this shit that I'm going. Just how I'm doing this shit that I'm going. Hey, just how I'm doing this shit that I'm going.
You are looking live at Ford Field. The PSL City Championships are about to begin on this pleasant Friday afternoon. Welcome to Gridiron Game Day. It's a twofer on a Friday, East Samstick Day. My name's Chad Bush. Glad you're with us on the prep. We've got two exciting games. Stick both rematches of Week 4 battles. Let's start first with this game.
Yes.
Detroit Denby, 7-0. Best season they've had in a couple of decades to start against the two-time defending champion of the city from the Gold Division, Detroit Central. We've got an exciting matchup on both slates.
Yeah, and don't let the 4-3 record fool you. I mean, you got to look at their schedule and how tough their season has been for Detroit Central. And you got to remember, back in Week 4, when these two teams met up, the first half, very close. But then in the second half, Denby was able to break it open, and as their coach put it, was able to play the way they're supposed to play. But, you know, if I'm Detroit Central, I got a lot of confidence coming in this game if I'm looking at that first half.
Yeah, Detroit Central led by 10 points in that first half. Jimmy Mon and his club felt great, but Zack Carr and the Tars on a tear this season, very talented, and we'll get deeper into that, would come back and win that ball game.
Yeah, and that's kind of what this program has been about since Zack Carr has taken over. You know, they have adversity, then they overcome it. Then they get some more adversity, then they overcome it. And that's just what he preaches to his team, and you can see it play out on the field.
Meanwhile, Detroit Central under Jimmy Mon, 6 city titles under Macon in his 29th year, 31 as a head football coach. But this is his alma mater. It means a lot to him. He's really dedicated to the school, and he's dedicated most of his life to it.
And that's the thing you see a lot in the PSL, you know, the alma maters coming back and having that pride, because it does mean more when you play for that school, when you've worn the jersey, when you've put on the helmet, because you understand the pride that comes with it, and you want the kids that are playing for you to experience that same pride and carry it through their entire lives like you have.
Denby and Detroit Central coming up. We've got the head coach for Detroit Central, the reigning back-to-back city champions. Jimmy Mon is next on Gridiron Game Day, PSL City Championship. Take one. Welcome back on Gridiron Game Day. Time to talk to the Detroit Central head coach, Jimmy Mon, in his 29th year at his alma mater. And, Coach, congratulations. Here you are again in another championship game, looking to win your 3rd straight title in city championship. That must make you proud as an alum.
Yes, it's a very proud moment. You know, like you say, you see a lot of people, you know, they say what they mean in their heart as far as coming back and giving back. I've been giving back pretty much my whole life, and I enjoy the time, and I love to see that we can bring the pride back here at Central High School, and for a 3rd straight championship, never been done here at Central, would be, you know, a proud moment even more.
10-win seasons back-to-back for Coach Macon the last 2 seasons. This year been a little tougher of a sledding for you. You had to replace some players. You had a tough schedule. Yeah. Talk about the season thus far and this group of boys that you like quite well.
Well, the good thing about this season, like you said, replacing the guys that was before them, you know, was a big challenge. And what it is that they came in, they came through, guys developed on the off season, and we got that much better. The challenges, you know, with the different of the schedule, you know, I picked some better teams to play, you know, throughout this season, you know, and gave us a chance and an opportunity to see where we at and where we can go as far as we can, as far as within the state playoffs.
Quite a dynamic combination this year offensively, still averaging around 35 points a game, replacing that quarterback. You like the guy you got in there now. He can do some different things, and he's been quite the leader for you. Talk about the signal caller in his first year.
Yes, Darion Polk. He's a senior this year. He came over, and he's doing a real good job as far as, you know, running plays and he runs that RPO real well. He's been working out with, programs such as QBU, and he came from the Spartan program as a young man. So he was under with the Bryce Underwoods and the kid Moore over there, King, Dante Moore. So when you look at that, he understands what football is, and he know how to really be a field general out there on the field. So I'm really proud of him.
Running the football, stopping the run, I know two things that you take a lot of care of and really highlight. Your running back situation this year, it continues to get better. Mr. White has been fabulous for you running the football.
Yes, Mr. White, man, he's something special, man. He reminds me of Dwight Smith that I had some years ago with that speed, quick, swift, enhanced skills with his hips, and he can cover anything across the field, man. He's Mr. Blanket himself, so he got his name. His nickname is Lockdown. So the thing with that, man, he does a real good job of covering the guys up and down the field. But on the offensive side, he's pretty much at 2,000 yards all-purpose right now, and that's something special, man. With over 12 touchdowns this season, I'm proud of him a lot.
Looking for his third straight All-Star, All-State honors from MHSAA. Keys here for you defensively in this ball game against a very talented Denby team. How do you stop them, and who's your leader on defense?
Playing smart, fast, and physical. Alante Smith is my run stopper as far as a linebacker. He plays real well. He's relentless, leading the team right now in tackles. And, like I say, I got the blanket on one side, and I got also the lockdown on the other side. So, we're going to prevent a lot of things. We did different than what we did the first game. So it'll be real simple. We play fast, physical, and be disciplined on everything we do.
Thanks so much. All the best tonight, and all the best the rest of the way in the Division 7 playoffs.
Thank you. I pretty much appreciate that. Always a pleasure.
You bet. It's Jimmy Macon, the head coach. 31 years as a head coach, coaching football. His 29th year at Detroit Central, his alma mater. We're back with more on Gridiron Game Day right after this.
Lowering the shoulder. Swing and a miss. McGinley scores!
Welcome back on this fabulous Friday afternoon from Ford Field, home of the Detroit Lions, the top team in the Norris Division. Oh, it's not the Norris anymore, is it?
Still, just being able to say that's got to be nice.
It is. NFC North. The Lions will go at it on Saturday. Stick, this all-time series between these two teams, 22nd meeting all-time. It's really been dominated by one side.
Yeah, I mean, Denby, they pretty much had their way throughout this, leading 16-5 in the series. But Central, the last win they got was that big 41-6 win. And, Denby hasn't forgotten that. They've kind of brought it up, alluded to it, I'd say. It's not that they're focused on it, but it's still living in the back of their mind.
Zack Carr did mention that, and you just have to wonder if that is lingering in the back of their minds. Denby with that win earlier this year by a couple of scores. We're coming back, and we will hear from the head coach, aforementioned Zack Carr from Detroit Denby. 7-0 are the Tars. We'll hear how Zack Carr and his crew have done it this year. We're coming back on Gridiron Game Day right after this.
Welcome to Detroit Denby as we get set for Denby versus Detroit Central for the championship of the Gold Division of the PSL. We're here with head coach Zack Carr. two-way guys, but some guys that have stood out this year for you on the defensive side.
Yep. So Amir Watts is our defensive tackle, who's a guy who's been doing great for us. Shantez Bowie, Drayshawn Johnson, of course, Amir Harris, who's a guy who has multiple offers. And Kenny McClinton, who's our 6'5", 200-pound defensive end, who's just a monster.
Also doubles as a wide receiver and a big-time threat. What's the key to victory in this ball game against Central, a team that you know is going to be out for revenge tonight here at Ford Field?
Absolutely. So just don't make a lot of mistakes. Stick to our game plan. If we do what we normally do what we practice, we'll be just fine.
That's Zack Carr, the head coach at Denby. All the best tonight. Thanks for taking time. We appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Go Tars.
All right. That's Zack Carr. We're back with more on Gridiron Game Day from Ford Field on the Prep right after this.
Every morning when I rise, my dream lives in me. This is my kingdom, a wonder world that's always changing, where great champions stand victorious. Here, we celebrate what makes us different. We share our creativity, and we grow stronger. Preparing for the world we will make together.
I am.
I am one of Detroit's next legends. It's our time to rise.
Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss. McKinley scores!
And it's going to be a challenge for us. I mean, they're a really talented football team. I think everybody knows that.
Four wide receivers. Pressure. Steps up. Marshall wants to run again. Cuts down the middle of the field. All alone. Touchdown! Warriors! What a cut. All right, both teams have shown some leadership on both sides, some impact, and a lot of talent both ways, Stick. Hard to pick just one player on offense and defense. But let's start first with Detroit Central. Who stands out as the impact player on each side?
Well, if you're looking for a big impact player on the offensive side, look no further than number 3, my man Polk. He is a running RPO quarterback, really smart, able to read the defensive end and make the right call. But don't just think that he's a running quarterback, too. He's got the arm to go with it. He's the first-year starter. Then you flip over to the defensive side of the ball. DeCarlos White, probably one of the best cornerbacks in all of the state. A 4-year varsity player, has 7 offers already. And then we're going to take a look at Denby. Amir Harris, I mean, that's the guy you got to watch out for. He's going to break the field wide open. He's got the speed to take the top off the defense. Just a guy that's fun to watch. And then, of course, Kenny McClinton, big defensive end, 6'5", 180, only a sophomore, too. He's going to have a really fun game today, and just look for him to get a lot of contain.
All right, we are set for kickoff. As you take a look at the return team for Denby who's out there, that's Kenny McClinton, the aforementioned, as we get ready for this thing to get knocked into the air for the Gold Division Championship. And the rematch of the Week 4 battle is underway and taken at the 15-yard line up the left hash and taken by number 5, that's Shantez Bowie Jr., the 5'9", 160-pound junior. And that's where the Tars will start on offense. The undefeated Tars under Zack Carr in his 3rd year. And boy, on that offensive side, Chris Kendrick, the sophomore quarterback stick, has done a fine job this year captaining the ship. What's the key for Detroit Central? Let's start there.
For Detroit Central, you want Polk go wild. You got to let that guy go wild, and you want to limit those big passing plays. That's something that we talked about that Denby can do. So those are one thing if you're Detroit Central. Then you flip over. That's our guy Amir. That's what you want. You want to get him going and win in the trenches. We talked about how Denby's quarterback's been coming along. A lot to do with the big fellas up front, keeping them clean.
Yes, sir. It's a good size offensive front led by some folks that we'll meet in just a moment. All right, 3 wide receivers and 1 running back to the right. That's Bowie Jr. And it's taken out of the snap and across the 45. Healthy gain of about 6 by the quarterback, Chris Kendrick. Good size stick at 6 foot, 200 pounds. They're going to say the ball was loose. And are they saying it's Detroit Central football?
No, they're saying he was down. And that was a play that was all Kendrick here. Look at trouble with the snap. Almost doesn't hand it off in time. Broken play, just get some yards out of it. But the officials said he was down or his forward progress was stopped before that ball was ripped out.
They'll call him down after a gain of 7 up to the 45-yard line. Chris Kendrick, the quarterback, will meet the offense for the Tars momentarily. Another high snap. Handled, given to Kevin Keller, the 5'6" sophomore, hiding behind that line, and he's stopped just short of a first down.
You stole exactly what I was going to say. He hid behind that big offensive line, and like you said, another high snap, but able to get a little crafty and pick up the first down.
Keller's going to check out. They've got a nice 2 running back system.
I'm calling a penalty on that.
Yeah, that's going to move him back 5.
Take away the first down run, too.
So 2nd down and 8. This is Bowie again, and he's going to have a few off the right side. Let's meet the starters for the Tars of Detroit. Denby, 7-0, 5-0 in league play. The OC is Zack Carr, who's also the head coach. We told you Kendrick, the quarterback, 6 foot, 200 pounds. He's been pretty dynamic this year, Stick. They like his leadership.
Yeah, they have a really tight team. That's what Coach Carr was talking about. And, you know, we've talked about that so many times, that when you have a team that does things together off the field, too, they become more of a family. They're going to play more for each other on the field.
Kendrick, one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the class of 2026, has the snap on 3rd and 5, throwing left side, got a man just over the outstretched arms of Amir Harris, his top target at 6'2", had his man beat, but it's 4th down and punting time, you would think, for the Tars, Stick.
Yeah, you get a good look at the arm of their quarterback here, and then you see just a little bit of an overthrow. I mean, Denby was rooting for a pass interference there, but I think that was a good no call by the officials.
Good coverage by the top corner man for Central, DeCarlos White, a 3-time All-Stater. So there's the offensive line with Strong, Pruitt, Evans, Davis, and Till, a gigantic offensive front. 260, 330, 260, 330, 270. The backs and receivers with Bowie and Keller, the running backs, and McClinton, Johnson, Harris, and Watts. The Tars appear to be going for this thing. 4 wide receivers to the right on a 4th and 5. In trouble, and down he goes. The pressure from the Trailblazers, and they're going to have plus territory to take over at the 38-yard line, Stick. How about the defense?
Yeah, it looked like it was maybe a designed quarterback draw or just great coverage on the back end by Detroit Central. And, you know, we talked about Denby's offensive line and about how big they are, but Detroit Central stood strong there, and now they get the ball with great field position for their opening drive.
Yeah, there is a flag down. In fact, a couple of them, and it's unsportsmanlike, post-play penalty. They'll offset, and much ado about nothing.
Yeah, one player stood over the other player got up, gave him a little shove, let him know, don't like you standing over me. Boys will be boys, and we're moving on.
And away we go. So Detroit Central, who won this game a year ago, won the title. You called it with John Losey.
Yes, sir.
From Wayne State, in a game that we will soon not forget, between Southeastern and Central. There's Darion Polk, In the gun, handoff left side. DeCarlos breaks a tackle and gets 3 before he's tripped up and tackled by number 58, and that's Demetriel Hughes, the junior linebacker.
Yeah, Jawan Watts came bursting through the line of scrimmage there, almost got the tackle for loss, but Detroit Central was able to break it and get a nice gain.
There you see the offensive line with Gray, McGaffey, Townsend, Kelly, and Johnson. It's been a sound offensive front under offensive coordinator Brandon Williams. Run right side is solid. It's a couple yards shy of the first down. It'll set up a 3rd and short. But the run was by number 7, and that's Kalandre Hardy, an all-state returner from a year ago. Here you see DeCarlos White, a two-way star, DeFranz Dobson, Alante Smith, and Sebastian Pamplin at tight end, who they like quite a bit, Stick.
Yeah, he's shown a lot of progress over the season. He's really grown into that position.
Last year, a 31-14 win for Central in the title game at Wayne State at Tom Adams Field. Now we got another flag. It's a young team, and it looks like Jimmy Macon, Stick, has them kind of set up for the future, the Trailblazers.
Yeah, and that's all you want out of a young team, too. You know, you see actually Tom Izzo do it a lot with basketball. You schedule the tough schedule, you get your guys ready, and when you get to the championship game and you get into the playoffs, your teams hit its stride, even though you look at their regular season record and it's only 4-3.
Detroit Central looking for their 3rd straight victory in the city championship. It would also be their 4th out of 5. White's in trouble in the backfield on 3rd and short, and down he goes.
Yeah, Demetriel Hughes was in the backfield. He didn't make the tackle on that play, but he made the play and set up his teammates. Watch, big number 58 fly through, force him, and then 8 right there.
Davion Willis. Yeah, they're going to go, Stick, from the 32. Central in 4-down territory on 4th and 4. Back to pass, slant route, incomplete. Well covered on the play by number 13, Cottrell, the sophomore, with a stop. Turnover on downs, and here's the play and the incompletion.
That was interesting because it looked like it went over 2 potential receivers there. And obviously an incomplete pass, and here we go. 2 turnovers on downs early in this game. Both these teams, I don't know if we're going to see the punter at all today, Chad.
Aaron McCall was the intended target from Darion Polk, the quarterback, the southpaw. And so here we go, scoreless first quarter. Glad you're with us on a Friday afternoon in Detroit. Alex Westfall, your executive producer. So in the gun is Chris Kendrick, the QB, rolling right. Looking, floats it up, got a man, incomplete. Was trying to get to Kenny McClinton. It was overshot and nearly picked.
Yeah, number 7, Kalandre Hardy came through for Detroit Central, almost able to pick that. There's a couple guys in that area. Number 4, McClinton was wide open. I don't think that was designed to have three wide receivers in that area.
I don't either. Bowie was also over in coverage. 2nd down and 10. 2 to the left, 3 to the right. Empty set for the quarterback wearing 1, Chris Kendrick. 6-foot, 200-pounder. Zack Carr likes his versatility. Can throw, can pass, feels comfortable out of the pocket. Slot left is Keller. Excuse me, Stick.
Oh, you're fine. You saw it on that last play with them rolling the pocket out.
He looked comfortable, didn't he?
Yes.
This pass is caught by Bowie. Bowie sheds a tackle. Contained finally after a slip out. Tackled by number 5, Aaron McCall. Along with number 6, Sebastian Pamplin. 3rd mid. The defensive front, Gray, McAfee, Johnson, Redding, and Townsend for the Trailblazers. Pamplin and Smith are the backers. And then the back end is talented as well. DeCarlos White, the leader, one of the top corners in the state of Michigan. Dobson, the opposite side. McCall and Hardy are the safeties. 3rd down and 5, and we've got a flag, and this thing is going to give the Tars a 1st down.
It's going to be very close. Yep, they are going to give it to him. I thought it may have been like a quarter of a yard short of being a first down with that 5 yard. But that's smart play calling by Denby, and that's what Zack Carr brings. He, not only does he want this team to be physical, he wants them to be cerebral too. When you got a chance to go on a hard count, the defense is going to over pursue a little bit, and there you go, free first down.
The Tars went deep with their 2018 team under Tony Blankenship. Also went deep into the playoffs in 2019 over Coach Godfrey. And here's Zack Carr trying to keep the tradition rolling after a couple of years that have been under 500. Pass is caught but dropped. This is going to be a loss. It's going to be 3rd and long, but there's a timeout on the field. We'll take it with them. We're back in 30 seconds to Ford Field in downtown Detroit for a little Friday matinee. Glad you're with us on Gridiron Game Day. We're the Prep.
Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss.
McKinley scores!
And it's going to be a challenge for us. I mean, they're a really talented football team. I think everybody knows that.
4 wide receivers. Pressure, steps up. Marshall wants to run again. Cuts down the middle of the field. All alone. Touchdown, Warriors! What a cut.
Chad and Stick back with you. Just 1 first down in this game. Stick, a slow-moving defensive battle thus far as we get a look at Zack Carr, the head coach of the Tars.
Yeah, so far, a feeling out process. Even though they've already played each other once in the year, you can tell they're kind of don't know what to expect from each other at this point.
It's like at that 8th grade dance. You're still dancing awkwardly, trying to feel out the partner. Back to the running game. And left side, off left tackle, not going anywhere is Shantez Bowie Jr. He's strung out and tackled on the play by number 20. And they'll give credit to the young man, Alante Smith, for that one.
Yeah, and here you go. I mean, Denby is just having a rough time getting their running game going, which is a lot to be said for Detroit Central because one of Denby's strengths is their line. And you'd anticipate them controlling the line of scrimmage right now, but it's kind of been the other way around.
You're right. And I mean, this is an enormous front.
Yes.
330, 2 fellows at 330. In Pruitt, the left guard, and the right guard, Davis. Now it pocket breaks down, throwing deep, and overshoots Shantez Bowie, who was busted open. And again, 2 receivers in the same location, Stick. But we see the ability from the quarterback, Hendrick.
Yeah, and from up here where we're sitting at Ford Field, it looked like he could have been able to tuck that ball and run a good another 15 yards. He had the first down. If you look, there's nobody in front of him. But he decides to launch it down the field and just out of the reach of number 5, Bowie.
Johnson was also streaking in the area.
That's a couple times in this game we've seen some miscommunication. Even on the play before that, they tried to run a little wide receiver screen, and it looked like the blocker got confused, caught the ball instead of the wide receiver they were throwing it to. So some communication errors early here for Denby. And here's a punter.
This is a punter. You ask for a punt, you're going to get it from Deshaun Johnson, the junior, who stands at his own 32. It's going to be a 4th down and 11. Central will send back to the 35.
Return mode.
Looks like number 7, Calandre Hardy, the All-Stater, and looks like another penalty. This is going to get moved back. Okay, 37-yard line is where they'll snap this thing, and the snap is going to come by way of Mr. Neely. And the punt is end over end, and this one is going to work out like a charm. Hardy's going to take it all the way back to his 22. And not much there. It's an 8-yard return to the 30 before he's tackled by number 7. That's John L. Trice, the senior cover man.
Yeah, that was a dangerous play as well because it looked like he got his hand on it while the ball was rolling. And as soon as he does that, I mean, it's anybody's ball. It's a free-for-all. But luckily for Central, he was able to pick it back up and get a positive gain out of this. At least get the ball back up to the 30.
Good job staying in their lanes, containing. Throws off timing like that. All kinds of alleys can open.
So a little stack wide receiver each side now. As Central goes back to the gun. Polk in the gun. Back to pass the southpaw. Hitch route is complete and caught. Caught by Aaron McCall.
That was a great throw. He's throwing from the far hash mark all the way across the field. To me, that always shows the arm strength of the quarterback. We can go deep ball all day, but when you can make that throw on a rope, you're showing me that you have a strong arm.
Amir Harris on the tackle, a guy who's been a glue to this team, a 3-year starter, and their highest recruited player, has offers from Army, Air Force, Ball State, Grand Valley, and others. Throw down the middle of the field, and it's caught. It's caught into Tar territory, and the catch is made by Adams. First down, and it's just the second first down of the ball game. Move the chains. Nice pitch and catch stick.
Yeah, great route by Adams. He was able to get inside leverage on the cornerback, and once he did that, he just kind of turned in, and the ball was there on time.
Inside handoff, and this is a healthy gain of about 4.
And you can sense Detroit Central picking up a little bit of momentum right now.
The ball carrier's number 1, that's DeCarlos White. Here's a look at the defensive front for the Tars. McClinton, Watts, Davis, and Strong up front. The backers are Watts, Jones, Pruitt, and Willis. Back to throw again. Slant route just over the outstretched arms of the wide receiver and the intended target, Calandre Hardy. That was a hot one out of the southpaw stick.
Yeah, and that was very likely going to be a completed pass if it wasn't for the pressure by Denby. I believe it was at 58 again, going right up the middle. Demetriel Hughes. He's had a couple plays in the backfield so far in this game.
The DBs Harris, Cottrell, Bowie, Jr., and Johnson in the back end for the Tars. A lot of talent and leadership in the secondary. 3rd down and 5. Caught, first down, and more inside the 30 to the 31. Back-to-back catches on the drive from Aaron McCall, and a fine fireball from Darion Polk.
Yeah, Detroit Central has found something here with this kind of mock hurry-up offense. It's a no huddle and some great route running going on right now in the quarterback, putting it on time where it needs to be. Good ball.
Good awareness to cut back in. Those yak. Always in attack. Lefty being attacked, throws it up, curl route, caught inside the 20 to the 10 and out of bounds. McCall again. And tackled by number 3, Harris. How about the air raid by Central? Beautiful shot there. Thank you very much for that replay. Timeout on the field for the moment. And it is a false start. So that'll back up Central. That's the 3rd penalty of this first quarter. Time winding down, of 2.5 left. Central from the 15. 1st and 15. It's been quite the drive by the quarterback, the southpaw Polk. Rolling, forced, out of the pocket, and tackled at about the 16-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1. They'll call it a sack. And a great attack by number 44. That's Amir Watts, the senior captain. Also in pursuit was Amir Harris. So the two Amirs teaming up. It'll be a loss of 1 on the play officially. 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Final 90 seconds of the first quarter, a scoreless quarter. In the city championship game, throwing left side, up in the end zone, caught, touchdown Central. Calandre Hardy, a 16-yard snatch out of the Motor City Air, and it's 6-0 Central Trailblazers. It's been all about the air show on this drive, and it's capped off right there. Looks like Central will go for 2. They'll put Polk in the gun. Give inside, and that is converted properly. Here's a replay at that fade again and the touchdown. Alante Smith, the junior, with a 2-point conversion, a 3-yard run, but the touchdown, a 16-yard catch. Calandre Hardy from Darion Polk, and a 16-yard variety. It was an 8-play, 70-yard drive, 3 minutes, 13 seconds. And it's 8-0 Central, and you said it. That's how Central got started in the first matchup in week 4. They had a 10-point lead in the first half, Stick.
Yeah, that breeds confidence. You know, that's what it does. You can go into this game going, oh, okay, we did lose, but at some point.
That's right. The return by the dangerous return man, Amir Harris, a late flag. He is hemmed in at the 36. Tackled. So we'll see what the flag's all about. It's a face mask. It's on Central, so the Tars will have field position in Central territory. Here's another look at it. And, yeah, but the man who scored the touchdown, well, he got a face mask. There's about one guy that you can forgive on that play, and it's the guy that just got you 6 points. So all's good. Those are my thoughts, not the coaches. Calandre Hardy with a face mask. They'll move this thing into Central territory. They'll mark this at about the 44, 46. Pat the Stat and Austin Sonnenberger on statistics. What a beautiful room we have. This is where the national broadcasts go down. Here's a replay of that scoring drive. It was 8 plays, 70 yards, 3 minutes, 13 seconds. Hardy, the touchdown from Polk, 16 yards. Extra point run, good by Alante Smith. 3 minutes, 13 seconds. 1 minute, 13 seconds remain in the opening quarter between the top teams in the Gold Division so far this year. The Denby Tars, 7-0, are behind the 4-3 Central Trailblazers. In trouble in the backfield is Keller. And down he goes. It's going to be a loss of 2 on the play.
And there we go. The Central team, the Central front line, able to get penetration and get in there.
Fine play by number 53. So 2nd down and 12. Chad Bush, Sam Stick Day with you. The Tars trail. It's been a resilient group all year. They've really kind of whacked their way through. 53-0 to open the year over Osborne. 26-0 over Toledo Woodward. 43-6 over Pershing. And then they followed that up with the Week 4 game against Central. And a 38-24 come from behind win over Central. Since then, it's been 44-0 over Cody, 48-0 over Northwestern, and last week, 50-0 over Douglas. Kind of how it is in the PSL against in some of those games, but iron sharpens iron, and today that's happening.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, Denby, another penalty, bringing them back, putting them in a tougher position.
Kendrick looking deep, got a man. Did he catch it? He did at the 18-yard line. Hauled in by Drashawn Trotson. What a catch from Johnson off the hot hand of Kendrick.
Oh, wow, he put everything he could in that, threw that ball as far as he could, and what a great catch off the fingertips. Both officials on the field agree this will be a good look at it to see if it hit the ground. It may have touched the ground, but he had his hands around it. You got to give him that catch.
You have to. What a way to end the first quarter. The teams will switch sides. How about it? Worth another look, as you see there. All right, we go to the second quarter. 8-0 Detroit Central in the lead in the PSL Gold Division Championship from high atop Ford Field. Thanks for watching. We're the Prep.
Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss.
McGinley scores!
Welcome back to Gridiron Game Day. My name is Carol Wolfbaum. I'll be on the sideline for you guys tonight here at Ford Field. Now with the PSL Championship, we're already 8-0. Central is leading so far, but we've already seen some frustration on the Denby side. We saw some frustration from Coach Zack Carr. If guys not knowing if they should be entering the field already or not. We saw Juwan Watts, some confusion with special teams, knowing they should be out on the field, and already an injury on this side with number 7, Janelle Trice. So I'll be back with more information soon on the injury, but for now, send it back up to Chad.
All right, thanks so much, Carol Wolfbauer. We appreciate it. There's Zack Carr, proud of the Tars. Goes back to his roots at King, where he was an assistant, and we'll see King and Cass later. He learned the King way and the right way, and Tyrone Spencer was glad to have him on staff.
Yeah, I mean, him and Tyrone Spencer share a lot of similarities, and the intensity for football is definitely one of them, and big, formidable gentleman is the other thing.
Gentle giants.
Yes.
Both a pleasure to hang with. So the Tars have the football, and they're back at the 30, and they're going to get up to midfield. Now, I don't know what I missed.
That looked like it was a dead play at first, and then all of a sudden they run their best play of the game out of it.
I understand there was a holding penalty on that play, so that was wiped out at the end of the quarter. So that play never happened.
Yeah, but Chris Kendrick got that snapped, and it looked like the play was over. He was just kind of standing there. Next thing you know, he launches the ball down the field, and Bowie makes the catch. But 3rd and 14 nonetheless.
It's a semi-manageable 3rd and 14 from midfield. 5 wide. Empty set for the quarterback, Kendrick. Kendrick flushed out of the pocket. Steps up, has a man caught and dropped at the 34-yard line. Oh, was wide open as they come. A lot of green for McClinton, and he just dropped it.
Yeah, and a guaranteed first down. He was right at the sticks when that ball hit his hands. All he had to do was turn around and fall forward. And a great play here by Kendrick, keeping his eyes down the field. And, oh, you're going to want that one back.
Man. So fourth down and 16. And it looks like the Tars are going for it.
Why not? You're at midfield. Or they're trying to get him to jump to get him an extra 5 yards.
Could be. Empty set. Kendrick. Pressured. Trouble. Sacked at the 45-yard line. It's the big 6'7", number 70, and it's Jeremiah Gray with a sack.
You know, Jeremiah Gray just stands out to you when you're looking at the Central roster. They hardly have a guy above 6 foot. And then they got one guy standing there at 6'7", and when he gets his arms around you, you are going to the ground.
A lot of leverage and a lot to like. Jimmy Macon just drooling over the potential of the young man and the plays he's made with that range.
It's tough to block the guy. If he's got long arms like that, he can shed you real quick. And there you saw his lateral quickness changing directions to get the quarterback that was about to scramble.
And Sticky's just a 10th grader. Central back on offense in plus territory. No one's worried about a punt today. This is PlayStation football. Going for it.
Analytics, Chad. The analytics tell me it's okay to go for it on 4th and 16.
And if the analytics say it, let's roll with it.
Yep.
The last drive impressive for Detroit Central. It was an 8-play, 70-yard drive, and very efficient. And a lot of the efficiency stick was through the air. Detroit Central 5 of 7 through the air in this ball game. Very efficient. We've seen on-target passing from Polk, the QB.
Yeah, and 3 of those receptions were to McCall, who's averaging 14 yards of reception right now. And it just seems like he's always wide open, and he got the touchdown. He was able to high point that ball in the end zone. Central's got to be feeling pretty good about themselves on both sides of the ball right now. It's not just one side carrying the team, keeping them in it. Offense is doing their part, and defense is causing havoc.
Yep. 5 of 7 for 71 yards in the ball game for the quarterback for Detroit Central, Darion Polk. All right, the officials are sorting things out.
He just wanted some camera time. We got him some good camera time. Good-looking official.
Yeah.
They do a great job. They have all season long as well.
Really have. They get rewarded today with this matinee in Ford Field, part of this double dip we're privileged to have.
And what a pleasure it is to be at Ford Field. How cool is that for the Public School League to be able to secure this for their championship games? I mean, I know both you and I grew up playing Little League football where we played one game a year in the Silver Dome, and it was just a thrill to play in the Silver Dome. Shows how old we are, but either way, it's just cool that Ford Field opens this up to the kids and opens this up to the Public School League, and they do such an incredible job of welcoming us. And, you know, we're sitting right where the big dogs sit, too.
Yep.
Fox, when they come in, all those guys.
We thank Jay Alexander and the Detroit Public School League, Dr. Vitti, for having us here, being the official broadcast company of the PSL. Run along the right side, daylight, and a sideline wide open. Nothing but end zone. And a touchdown to Carlos White. A 3-year All-Stater finds Patered up the right sideline, showing off that speed.
And all credit to the Carlos White on this. Look at him bust outside, but right here, Calandre Hardy, number 7, driving his man into the ground. You know, we used to talk to Joik Bell a lot, former Lion, and he would always say big runs happen when wide receivers block downfield. And when you get a pancake block like that and the touchdown, there's no better feeling.
And shout out to Keshawn McGaffey, just for scaring people. I mean,
he got out in front, but he didn't need to. He was big enough to try to make him go around him.
That's right. It's a 44-yard touchdown run for DeCarlos White, the senior star two-way player. So it's 14-0 Central over Denby. And again, as Stick told you, it was a first-half lead of double digits the first time around. So Denby not going anywhere. Back to pass, Polk looking, end zone, incomplete. Had McCall on this near sideline, but he couldn't hold on, and I'm not sure he was inbounds either way. So incomplete, McCall.
I think that's what caused the incompletion, him trying to stay too much inbounds, and he had more room than I think he thought. But it's different there.
I like that pink look.
Oh, this has been a fun first half so far. Unexpected, honestly. Like, I expected Central to come out here and have a ball game, but for them to absolutely dominate Denby the way they have up until this point has been pretty amazing to see.
Really is. Detroit Central trying to get their 3rd straight city title. You take a look at them, Division 7, and 10-1. Back-to-back years they've had 10-win seasons. Small school out of the PSL, 352 students. Notable alumni, of course, Antonio Gates.
Yeah, buddy.
Star at Kent State in college for basketball, moved on to brighter things. Rob Murphy got him a tryout, and he got a free agent signing and took the rest to the house. 16-year NFL career, 8-time Pro Bowler.
Yep, won me several fantasy leagues, so I thank him for that.
Central champions 3 of the last 4 years, and back-to-back Gold Division champions, and Jimmy Makin's group looking in prime territory right now with a 14-point lead. The kickoff is short and out of bounds, and so Denby will start with what they've had most of this game, very good field position.
Yeah, very good field position, but that really hasn't helped them. I mean, to this point, they only have 14 yards of total offense. That's 18-yard passing, -4 rushing. So field position doesn't really matter if you're going backwards.
An 8-play drive for the first score for Central, a 1-play drive for the last score, a 44-yard touchdown run by DeCarlos White, the senior tailback, and it took 8 seconds. The extra point was no good, Polk to McCall. And so here we go. This is a big drive for the Tars. Stick, 10:55 left in the second. Their third drive, it's probably time for them to get one in the zone if they're going to make a move.
Well, and the way Central's playing, you do not want to hand them back the ball.
No, sir. The Tars will take on Toledo St. John's Jesuit next week in a crossover with the Catholic League, one of the newest members of the Catholic League. There's a throw left side, a reversal of field, one man to beat, and he does! Still on his feet, across for a first down and more. My goodness. Tired watching that. Johnson with a big-time play. And we've got a flag. This thing might be coming back.
Yeah, that's what happens when you reverse direction like that. A lineman may get caught with a block in the back or something. I was going to give all the credit in the world to Demetrius Adams for turning him back in, but he turned him back all the way around. And great athleticism, but unfortunately here you get your block in the back or a holding call. And that takes away the whole run. And that's kind of been the story for Denby in this first half.
Yep. Denby backs it up 5. Denby offensively in the game, 2 of 6 in the air, just 14 yards on 14 plays. Meanwhile, Detroit Central 13 plays for 126 yards, almost 10-1 in yardage. The Tars are being outgained. High snap, keeper, gain of a few. Tackle made by the 6'7" Jeremiah Gray.
And you know what? I'll say this about Jeremiah Gray. He is a big dude. But when he tackles you, he's helped everybody up that he's taken down.
Gentle giant.
Yeah, if this replay goes after the play, you'll see him. Okay, now get up. Let's do it again.
Picked him up.
Yep, good job.
Picked him up like a sack of potatoes.
Right?
Man.
What a gentleman.
Chris Kendrick is down after a gain of 3. Late substitution off the field. Kevin Keller will check out. They'll put in the double tight Amir Watts. 3 wide, 1 back to the right of Kendrick, who keeps it right side and is going to wiggle out of a short loss. Loss of 1. TFL by number 55. That's Brazil Johnson, who's been all over today.
Yeah, and you can start to see the frustration for Denby brewing. If you watch Kenneth McClinton on that play, he kind of just throws his hands up in the air like, what are we doing here? It's not exactly how they drew it up. Some hands on the hips are happening right now. Denby's looking a little bit gassed. They need a big player to spark.
They do look gassed and a bit stunned, if I may. And we've got another penalty. And I'll tell you what, there's some fire right there. Oh, look at that. Some friendly fire. 5-on-5-0.
Bowie is telling his center, Jabbar Evans, like, hey, let's get the snap right. You know, we experienced this last week with Orchard Lake St. Mary. Sometimes these types of penalties just keep adding up and you can't get anything communicated, and next thing you know, the game's out of hand.
Yeah, and Evans is a good player, 2-year starter on varsity. This is the kind of guy that you want, and in fact, he was a guy that head coach Zack Carr called out of the middle of the hallways and said, hey, son, you're coming on our football team. He looked at him and said, huh, me? He said, yeah. Started weight training the next day, began to work, got a starting job. He's got his GPA over 3 points. This is a kid that does things the right way, but even in times of trouble and turmoil, these things happen, right?
Yeah, and that's, you saw Coach, you know, settle them down, having that conversation and discussing what happened so they can work through it. And that's the type of team that Denby has been. They've been a very tight-knit team all year long. So for them, you know, to have a little brotherly shouting match. You have a brother, Chad.
I do.
It happens, and you still hug it out after because you're brothers.
No doubt. You see the Tars, Division 5, 5-4 a year ago, 3-2 in league play, a clean 5-0 in league play, 7-0. And a team that made some big runs in 18 and 19. And you recall Shante Orr, 99 grad, honorable mention, All-American. Went to the University of Michigan. Went on to have a fine few seasons with the Texans. A proud program, and the Denby Tars are back. in business. Down couple scores here, though. Fling left side, it's Johnson, and Johnson with a nice gain. He needed 18, he got about a half of it. It's punting time for the Tars, or so you might think.
Yeah, at this point in the ball game, it looks like they are sending out a full new unit, so there will be a punt. But this was more Denby's offense. That's what they want to run. Chunk plays, 7 yards, 8 yards, 9 yards. Granted, the defense was playing back because it was 3rd and forever, but still, those types of plays could get you in a rhythm. DeCarlos White with a tackle. The sure-footed, handed, and steady corner, one of the top in the state, regardless of the division. Back to punt, in punt formation is Dreshawn Johnson, the 6-foot junior. Back deep for Central is DeCarlos White along with Hardy. This is a fake, and it's a first down and more across midfield. Completion to Dorian Jennings, the freshman. How about this fake and dial up by Zack Carr? Little Dan Campbell-esque as we are in Ford Field right here. And you see Deshaun Johnson with the throw and a beautiful catch by number 11, Dorian Jennings. And that just caught Central completely off guard. Caught me off guard, if I may be honest. But that's the best time to do it. Like when the announcer's talking, you know, we're moving on to the next thing. Everybody's moving on to the next possession. Oh, no, we're not done. Gutsy call deep in his own end. And it's a completion. 27 yards on the play. Is that right? 19 on the play, pardon me. We've got a flag here and another timeout on the field. This time it's a timeout. We'll take it with them. From downtown Detroit in Ford Field, it's Central with a 2-score lead, but the Tars are coming back to tumble. Come on back with us, won't you?
Christian, get up.
All right, game day don't start Friday. Let's get it, baby. Good job, boy. Ready, go.
There it is, the fake punt. What a call. A completion of 19 yards. Johnson to Jennings, the J&J. Well, we were talking about Denby needing a big play, and there's no bigger play than converting a 4th and long on a fake punt. That gets your whole sidelines in it, gets your team back in the game, and hopefully refocused. No doubt. 1st and 10 from the 48-yard line. Shotgun is Kendrick, the sophomore. No, he's under center, and he's going to keep it. Gain of a few up the middle. That must be in the scouting report that they saw against Central. Like, hey, you know, their defensive linemen kind of line up wide sometimes. If you see that, just come on up, run the quarterback sneak. You saw Tom Brady used to do that all the time. Listen, they're playing wide Ds. You just go right up in it. It's a stout defense led by Keith King, proud Central graduate, and Ennis Harris. 2nd down and mid from their opponent's 44-yard line. Hand off up the middle and going nowhere. Shut down quickly, and number 70's been all over the place. And the 6'7" sophomore with another big play. That's Jeremiah Gray. And you see 70 crash, but really it was him running into his own player. You know, number 5. Bowie ran right into the center, number 50. And that kind of knocked him down. High snap, pulled out by the quarterback. Athletic play, and he's going to make a few yards out of it. Fine run. You see the Kelly Road on the back of the Tars jersey. Chris McKendrick. He's going to set up a 4th and mid, though, and the Tars, again, you would think would be going for it on 4th down here. Jeremiah Gray on that play once again. You know, he's got the defensive end contained, and afterwards just tells the quarterback, good job. I love this kid. He's making plays and being friendly. Like, look, forces him outside, and afterwards, good job. 4th and 4, big play from the 43-yard line for Denby, trailing by 2 scores. 6.5 to go until the break. Under center, quarterback sneak, and this is not going to do it. That's a turnover on downs. And the quarterback is stopped, and Kendrick easily. Turnover on downs. The Central defense stands up again.
Now, I don't know if the quarterback has the right to make that call, and the coach gives him that right to come up to the line of scrimmage. It worked earlier in the drive. He was able to get 4 yards, but on 4th and 4 to run a quarterback sneak, that's a bizarre play call.
Yeah, I mean, credit that defense, but yeah, Demetrius Adams in on there amongst others, but
I guess if it works, you're a genius, you know.
That's right. Sometimes you see things in the booth and those things get changed on the field. Either way, stand-up Trailblazers, they get a stop. Handoff, White, midfield, flag down. This one's coming back. I think they're going to get a hold on Calandre Hardy right at about midfield. We'll wait for the call.
Yeah, I was watching Hardy on that play. That's interesting because it kind of looked like he stopped blocking, and then right when he saw the play coming at him, he was able to get a hold. But there you see the jersey stretch.
Yeah.
And he honestly didn't have to do that.
No, he didn't. It was a healthy gain of about 7 or 8 without it. The old stalk block. So, first down and about 15. I would call it 1st and 13. Not much running room that time. Tars get a stop. Davion Willis, a big part of it, the linebacker.
Yeah, nice play by Willis coming up and filling that gap, able to stop that run. You're wondering when Central's going to go back to that passing game that worked so well for them. There you go, just a gang of tacklers.
Demarion Pruitt also in there leading the charge. 4 wide, back to pass, Polk flushed out of the pocket, in trouble, and down he goes, back to the 34. Loss of 6 on the play with under 6 to go until the break.
Yeah, Kenneth McClinton, he did not give up on this play. Blows by the quarterback once, misses the tackle, and then was able to get his hands on him again and secure the sack. Big defensive stop for Denby.
McClinton, a guy that's really getting a lot of burn. Top 10 player in the class of 2026. 6'5", 200 pounds, very rangy. He's had his way at times today on the defensive end. Still waiting for that offensive attack that they say, and we've seen earlier this year with him and Amir Harris.
I just like how he didn't give up on the play. You know, sometimes the quarterback gets by you, just kind of, oh, okay, I'm not going to get him.
That's right. Pass left side and incomplete. Was trying to get it to number 2. That's Jaden Stokes. It was over his head and too tall from the quarterback Polk.
Yeah, and that was all caused by the pressure of Denby. Their defense starting to get into a little bit of rhythm. You know, that pass offense looked pretty dangerous 2 drives ago. There, it looked pretty easily contained just because of that pass rush.
The Tars defense is under the tutelage of Mark Mobley in his 2nd year. And they're starting to turn it up a little bit, as you mentioned. A little bit of blitzing to go with it.
Well, that was a big defensive stop. You don't want Central going up 3 scores going into halftime. And now you're giving yourself, your offense, a chance to get on the scoreboard, go into halftime, maybe down 1 score, and you're not feeling so bad about this first half.
Donovan Walker is in punt formation back at his 20, and he's going to have to keep reversing.
Delay a game.
The long snapper for Central is number 6, Sebastian Pamplin, who doubles as the tight end. 5-yard penalty that puts him back to his own 20 to kick it. Spiral punt, nice punt, back to the 35 and tripped up. Fine special teams play by DeCarlos White to trip him up after a gain of 0 on the play.
Yeah, that was a nice athletic catch. I thought he had space and could have gotten into a nice-looking return there, but unfortunately his feet got a little caught underneath him right there. Turf monster got him, and that's that.
Kara Wolfbauer, our sideline analyst, will have the head coach in his third year, Zack Carr, whose Tars are hoping to make a push with just under 5 to go. What do you think, what kind of attack do you think they'll try to go for here in this drive? Maybe their last of this half.
Well, I mean, they've had some success with that deep ball. The penalties have been calling it back, so I'd expect them to go back to that.
They go back to the air indeed. It's bobbled and caught and converted for a short gain of about 2. Fine job of wrapping up and tackling out there in space by Sebastian Pamplin, and he tackled Kevin Keller, the sophomore, for a gain of just 1.
Yeah, Kevin Keller, he's small in stature, but man, when he gets that ball and he gets in open space, he is tough to bring down. So that's a great tackle by Central.
2nd down and 9. Back to pass, looking downfield, has time, has a man, caught at midfield. 1st down and more to the 42-yard line. Fine pitch and catch to Shantez Bowie Jr. from Chris Kendrick. Move the chains.
Yeah, and that was all on Kendrick once again, just creating time. Like, it is tough to cover wide receivers, especially when your quarterback's moving around like this, finding time, but just a wide open pass, nice pocket, able to convert for the 1st down.
22-yard reception for Denby, now 6 of 10 through the air in this ball game. Best and most productive passing play of this ball game, though. Denby leads in time of possession, 12 minutes to 7. Back to pass again. Kendrick in trouble, flushed, looking, and throws it away. This might be a flag. Nobody there. He was out of the pocket, but I don't know.
Now the officials aren't even discussing it. I think because he was out of the pocket and he just threw it past the line of scrimmage, he's safe.
Yep.
It looked like it was going to be a little bubble screen up top, though, and it just wasn't there, so he pulled it down and ran the other way. By that time, none of the wide receivers are on pace to go to that side of the field.
Tight formation from the left hash. Home of the Detroit Lions. Kendrick floats downfield, got a man caught inside the 10. Hauled in by number 3, Amir Harris. We wondered when Amir would make his presence. Splash City.
That is the time to do it, right before the half when your team's been down the entire 1st half. You show up and make a big play. That's what we were talking about. They've had success throwing the ball downfield without those penalties. It's definitely a lot nicer. What a great catch. What a great throw. Now, Denby, you feel like you're rolling.
34-yard reception on the play. Kendrick to the top tall target, the talented Amir Harris. 6'2" senior. Gonna try the middle, nothing home. It's been a stout front for Central Stick.
Yeah, and once again, that's just an odd play call. Unless you're seeing the defensive tackles playing 6 yards apart and you have the whole middle wide open, I'd go back to my normal playbook and, get my athletes in space or hand it off to the back and let the big lineman make some holes. But it's tough for any lineman to get momentum on those plays.
Yeah, that's right.
But, hey, they're undefeated for a reason, so I'm not going to question Coach Carr too much.
2nd down, a goal to go from the 6. The running back, Shantez Bowie Jr. will check in. Under center now moves Kendrick. 2 wide receivers, 1 tight right. Fade route looking, fade stop, incomplete. Flag is out, and it looks like interference on Aaron McCall, who was working on the receiver.
Yeah, and once again, I think that's a penalty you didn't even need. That ball was not very accurate and wasn't going to be completed whether you got there early or not. And McCall able to just get the penalty called on him. Deshaun Johnson was the one intended for the reception in the end zone. You love those targets in the end zone, don't you, as a wide receiver? Give me as many targets as possible, right?
Advantage offense, little fade stop. 2nd down, a goal from the 2. Quarterback sneak and a touchdown. And the Tars are an extra point away from cutting this lead straight in half.
Yeah, and the reason the quarterback sneak worked that time is because Mario Davis absolutely moved the whole line of scrimmage by himself. I believe it's number 71. Watch him into the end zone. He's 5 yards deep. There's his guy on the ground, and there's the quarterback in the end zone. Look at that push. My goodness, 71.
Coach Zack Carr couldn't say enough about his offensive line. Great size and looking to go hog wild, as you mentioned, with that huge front. So here we go. 14-6. It'll be a 2-point conversion attempt by the Tars. We're coming from behind. Trips to the right. Slot right, H-back is Keller. Kendrick rolling, floating, man, incomplete. Back of the end zone. Was trying to find Bowie Jr., but it was deep, and it remains an 8-point advantage for Central.
Yeah, but if you're Denby, that drive going into halftime, now your defense got you a stop to get the ball back, and your offense showed that it could put it in the end zone. That halftime speech is going to be a heck of a lot different than if they went in there with a big goose egg on the board.
That's right. Enough space covered that time by the 6'3" Sebastian Pamplin in coverage. The drive, 6 plays, 63 yards, 2 minutes and 40 seconds. It was Kendrick on the keeper from 2 yards out with 2:03 to go to cut this lead kind of in half. It's now 14-6 as the 2-point conversion fails. And still enough time, if Central wants, we've seen them throw the football, to maybe try to get something done here.
Yeah, Central, and that's kind of the decision that the coach has to make right now, right? Are you going to risk it and go for another score and try to go up 2 scores before halftime, or are you just happy running this clock out and going in with the lead that you have? After the first game, I think they're going to try to put up as many points as possible.
Yep, agreed. Big play on the drive, the 34-yard reception by Amir Harris to set up shop. This is taken by Carlos White. Back at the 20, lost his ball, had to get his footing, and it's a chaotic mess for Central on the return. Tars with some momentum in the coverage.
Yeah, good job by Denby there, because we talk about this all the time on kickoff. Sometimes when that ball is dropped, people just lose their lanes or just go into focus and recover the football, and that's when big plays happen. With Denby, their coverage team was not having it.
No, they weren't. Everybody in their lane, everybody pursuing. Sometimes the coverage throws things off, or the bobble throws off the coverage. That time, solid contain.
Yeah, Davion Willis tracking it down.
Detroit Central coming off a 50-0 win over Communication Arts on a 3-game win streak. Wins over Pershing, Osborne, and Com-Media Arts last week. Back to pass, Polk, got a man, caught across the 30 to the 32-yard line. The catch and the run by McCall. It's a first down for the Trailblazers.
Yeah, McCall has been having himself a ball game so far. And this is a nice conservative throwing play, right? It's comfortable. You got a nice little out route, 5 yards, and see what my wide receiver can do after the catch.
Pardon me, it's just a gain of 7 on the play. No first down. White in trouble in the backfield, and he's dragged down from behind. Amir Watts was all over it. And the senior leader with a TFL.
I would assume if Denby had more timeouts, they'd be calling them right now. But since they only have 1, I think they're comfortable letting Central take this into the half.
Kind of see what happens on 3rd and 5. That one hemmed up nicely. Also in there was your guy, number 71, Mario Davis at 6'4", 330.
We're just going to call him Beast Mode.
Clock rolling under a minute. 3rd and 5, caught short of the first down, still on his feet, fighting but can't get it, wrapped up beautifully. The catch was made by Central's number 2, that's Jaden Stokes, but how about the defensive effort here by the secondary of the Tars?
Yeah, and the defensive line getting pressure on the quarterback. But yeah, you got to start wrapping up, though. Those hitting with the shoulder, expecting the man to go down in the championship game, that is not going to happen.
Nope. Harris and Johnson converge to stop it. The clock, though, is not stopped. And you got to wonder what's going on here.
Yeah, you would think Denby would have used the timeout to at least get this punt. And it looks like they are now with 14 seconds left on the clock.
4th down and 1. It does look like punt formation. We've seen all kinds of folks going for things and whatnot. But yeah, certainly here it's looks to be punting time. We want to thank our food sponsor tonight, Mario's Restaurante. In Detroit, in Midtown, they enjoyed some pasta, they enjoyed some salad. That creamy Italian dressing. I apologize in advance for anybody that sees me tonight within a mile radius, because I am going to reek of a garlic, creamy Italian. It's thanks to the wonderful restaurant and the food crew from Mario's.
You know, we've had a lot of good meals over this season, Chad, but to top it off with Mario's at Ford Field.
With a little Parmesan on top.
Oh, we did have an extra Parmesan?
Yes.
No, it was delicious. Thank you.
Yeah, no. Thank you, and we appreciate Mario's for that. We'll get them after the game. They're located just up the road and eastbound off of Cass.
Been there a long time.
Detroit tradition. The punt is underway. There's 13 seconds and rolling. Coming up to pick it up. A gutsy call. Drashawn Johnson, number 9, picked it up. And so now Denby with 7 seconds to work. And no timeouts, with a chance to maybe do something.
Yeah, why not? I mean, you're kind of at midfield. You want to just throw it up in the air. Pass interference can happen. A lot of things can happen. But I want to give credit to DeCarlos White on the coverage of that last kick, because I don't think anybody was expecting Denby to pick that up and run with it. But DeCarlos White, with his head on the swivel, able to make the tackle.
We've seen the arm for Denby. Quarterback Kendrick has a nice little cannon. We'll see what they do. Central by a score and a 2-point conversion right now. What appears to be the game's final play of the first half. Kendrick, the righty, rolling, looking, fires deep downfield, and it's going to be intercepted. Pass is intercepted by Calandre Hardy, the All-Stater, and that is how the first half will end. Stick around for Kara Wolfbauer. She'll sit down and chat with Zack Carr before he runs in. Stick, here's another look here.
Yeah, that's exactly what you expect going into halftime. You know, why not? Just air it out. Pass interference can happen. Tip balls can happen. Interception, least of your worries. You'll do that every time. So, Denby, I'm not too worried about that going into half. I am feeling good, however, about putting some points on the board.
Yep, and that's something Denby has had a tough time doing, except for their last drive prior to this. And we'll talk to Coach Carr about that drive. And so far, that has been the drive for them. Credit the Central defense, but the Tars got it going the last time around.
Yeah, and really, you can go back to that fake punt that got them going offensively. They didn't necessarily score on that drive, but it gave them a little bit of momentum, gave them a little bit of belief in what they can do. And they've done a great job so far here in this half, and a lot to talk about at halftime.
All right, while we've got a moment, let's go down on the field. Kara Wolfbauer is with the head coach for Denby, Zack Carr. Kara, take it away.
Thanks, Chad. Joined by Zack Carr now. Thanks for joining us today, Coach. Now, we've noticed a little bit of confusion and maybe some frustration on your guys' side on the sideline so far and on the offensive side. So kind of take me through some of that and how you're looking to make those adjustments tonight.
Going into the halftime, guys, we're just going to continue to do what we do. Go in, what we do as a coaching staff, make adjustments that you already know, and get some things corrected. You know, that's a good ball club, but I see some holes that we can really exploit. We'll come out on fire second half.
Can you talk about those holes that you're looking to explore, some of the little flaws in the system you're looking to go through?
Yep, so I see how they have the defensive end, checking our back, running back coming out the backfield. So we'll make some adjustments with that and be able to take advantage of the middle of the field.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck heading halftime. Chad?
All right, thank you very much, Kara. Appreciate that very much.
That was great insight. Normally you don't get insight to game planning at halftime. You know, he's got to hope that nobody's watching this broadcast from that's going to report back to the other team. But no, that's really great. A lot of coaches won't give you that insight, like, hey, this is what we noticed at halftime. This is what we're going to address. So that's obviously something that we're going to have to look for in the second half.
All right, at the break, 14-6, Detroit Central over Detroit Denby. We'll have highlights and scores and much, much more of what's ahead on the Prep and Gridiron game day. Thanks for watching the City Championship on the Prep.
From an ordinary idea comes a great journey. It all starts with the simple thought, a vision of something bigger, greater, than what already exists. It's that spark that ignites the passion and drive to create something truly amazing. At G-Brand, we understand this journey well. We take pride in the details and perfecting every aspect of the process, regardless of how small or big they may be. Because it's more than just a design or a shirt. It's about outfitting future champions. There's something to be said about a team coming together, each member contributing their unique skills, talents, and ideas. It's that collective effort that takes a simple idea and turns it into something truly great. The process can be excruciating, with countless hours spent tirelessly reviewing every detail. But the end result is pure and so rewarding, knowing that we've created something that will inspire greatness in those who wear it. Whether they come from a savage land or a booming metropolis, whether their numbers are 2 or 2 billion, the greatest their numbers could ever become is truly to become one. That's why at G-Brand, we're more than just a clothing company. We're a movement, a community of like-minded individuals who believe in the power of coming together to make a difference. So join us on this journey as we strive to outfit future champions and inspire greatness in all that we do. G-Brand. Now that's game.
Every morning when I rise, my dream lives in me. This is my kingdom, a wonder world that's always changing, where great champions stand victorious. Here, we celebrate what makes us different. We share our creativity, and we grow stronger, preparing for the world we will make together.
I am.
I am.
I am one of Detroit's next legends. It's our time to rise.
As the voice of Michigan's student athletes, the Student Advisory Council's role
is to convey the message of how high school sports should be played.
We are responsible for helping the MHSAA maintain a positive and healthy atmosphere
in which interscholastic athletes can thrive.
We believe that athletes should be competitive,
sportsmanlike, and excel academically.
We believe that students in the stands should have fun,
but not take away the focus from the game.
We believe coaches should act like teachers,
helping student athletes develop while still keeping high school sports in perspective.
We believe that parents should always be positive role models
and support their child's decisions.
We believe officials commit their own time to high school sports,
and respect should always be shown and given to them.
The most important goal for student athletes is to enjoy high school sports
while keeping a high level of respect between all those involved in the games.
Enjoy the game.
Hi folks, Dr. Joe here again with Michigan Orthopedic Surgeons. Did you know that kids are not little adults when it comes to sports injuries? That's because of something called the growth plate. Growth plates exist all over the human body in our growing athletes. They're actually little cartilage discs that exist at the end of all the long bones. It's simply where a kid grows. The problem is that the growth plate can be the weak link. What might be a sprain, a strain, or a tear in an adult when they hurt themselves can actually be a growth plate fracture in a kid. So it's important, if your kid has hurt themselves and they're not using their arm or they're not able to put weight on a leg, come see one of us, get an x-ray, and make sure it's not a growth plate fracture. For more information, go to miorthosurgeons.com.
Every high school sporting event in the state of Michigan has one thing in common: officials. Every game, every meet, every match. Without officials, there'd be no touchdowns, no three-pointers, no face-offs. Without officials, there'd be no games. Officiating is a great way to give back to your community and stay involved with the sports you love. And officials are needed now more than ever, because without officials, it's just practice.
Hi folks, Dr. Joe here with Michigan Orthopedic Surgeons. We all know that our wives and daughters deserve special attention, but that's especially true when it comes to their knees. Do you know that females are at a 2 to 5 times risk compared to their male counterparts when it comes to blowing out their knees? It doesn't seem fair, but it's true. The reasons include the way females are made and the way they fire their muscles. But fortunately, there are injury prevention programs out there that can greatly decrease this risk of injury. And if you do know a female who blows out her ACL, don't despair. We have neat, innovative, minimally invasive ways to fix their knees and get them back onto the field. For more information, go to miorthosurgeons.com.
Lowering the shoulder. Swing and a miss. McGinley scores!
And it's going to be a challenge for us. I mean, they're a really talented football team. I think everybody knows that.
More wide receivers. Pressure. Steps up. Marshall wants to run again. Cuts down the middle of the field. All alone. Touchdown! Warriors! What a cut.
From an ordinary idea comes a great journey. It all starts with a simple thought, a vision of something bigger, greater than what already exists. It's that spark that ignites the passion and drive to create something truly amazing. At G-Brand, we understand this journey well. We take pride in the details and perfecting every aspect of the process, regardless of how small or big they may be. Because it's more than just a design or a shirt. It's about outfitting future champions. There's something to be said about a team coming together, each member contributing their unique skills, talents, and ideas. It's that collective effort that takes a simple idea and turns it into something truly great. The process can be excruciating, with countless hours spent tirelessly reviewing every detail. But the end result is pure and so rewarding, knowing that we've created something that will inspire greatness in those who wear it. Whether they come from a savage land or a booming metropolis, whether their numbers are 2 or 2 billion, the greatest their numbers could ever become is truly to become one. That's why at G-Brand, we're more than just a clothing company. We're a movement, a community of like-minded individuals who believe in the power of coming together to make a difference. So join us on this journey as we strive to outfit future champions and inspire greatness in all that we do. G-Brand. Now that's game.
Welcome back to Halftime, downtown Detroit. Alex Westfall, your executive producer. Sam Stick Day on color commentary. Kara Wolfbauer on the sideline. She'll be with the head coach of Detroit Central, Jimmy Macon. That's Bacon with an M. That's what Jimmy told us. What a great guy. 31 years of coaching football. We'll get his thoughts. His team leads it right now 14-6, but the Tars are coming. Welcome back, Stick. And look, the second half, there were some things in the first half that were electric. We saw some big plays. We saw teams come back. We saw Denby pretty efficient at the end of the half, but Detroit Central really owned the early part of the frame.
Yeah, and the tale of two halves, maybe the tale of two quarters in the first half, really. You saw Detroit Central come out, dominate on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively. And then, you see in the second quarter, Denby just showing what they can do. And Denby, they held Central to only 11 passing yards in that second quarter after they dominated the whole first quarter. And you can see it right here. Number 5, he had his way the entire first half. Here's big number 7, probably my favorite player so far this game, Kalandre Hardy. He has been playing well on the defensive and offensive side of the ball. That put him up early. And then the big run. There's my big block, too, by number 7. Love that. But a nice run there by DeCarlos White. That was a one-play drive to put them up 16-0. And from there, Denby said, all right, enough. The Denby was held back until this play right here. That was 4th and 11, and they pull out a fake punt, were able to get some momentum, some quarterback sneaks. This was another 4th down that Denby got stopped on, so they didn't score that drive. But really, that fake punt is what got Denby back in the game. And you can see it here, a big pass over the middle and some more big pass plays out of Denby. That was the guy that we highlighted early in the game, Amar Harris, and that we were waiting for him to get going, and he finally did. And you see Denby put it into the end zone, and that gave him a lot of momentum coming into the half. And you heard Coach Carr talking about it going into the half. Hey, we saw some things. We're going to make some adjustments, and I'm really excited to see what those adjustments are here in the second half. And there you see what led to going into halftime, just an interception by Detroit Central, and that's where we have it now, 14-6, Central over Denby, but this game is far from over.
We're coming right back. Kara Wolfbauer with Jimmy Macon in just a moment. Second half, Denby and Central about to get underway from Ford Field.
Welcome on back to Gridiron Game Day right here at the half. I'm here with Jimmy Macon, the head coach of Central. So we talked about early on before the game, Jimmy Macon tried to make things happen, and you guys really did make things happen on their offensive side earlier on in the half. So tell me about how you're feeling from that production so far.
Well, pretty good. We're pretty good right now, but we got to turn it up a little bit and get more points on the board. We kind of got flat towards the end of the first half, so we're going to make sure that we make those adjustments and start doing what we did the first part of it and execute a little bit better.
And we see a lot on their side, also on their offensive line, having a great offensive line and having a great run game so far. But your defense has been quite productive, so tell me about that so far as well.
Yes, the defense been doing pretty well. Once they got down inside of that, they made a big pass. And, we've got discombobulated, made miscues on it, but we're going to correct those and make sure that they don't make those passes no more. I think our defensive line is holding up against their offensive line. It's making it a little bit easy for me. That O-line ain't really doing too much. The run game is not there for them.
Well, good luck, Coach, the rest of the half. Looking to make a three-peat now here, so good luck, and we'll send it back up to Chad and the guys in the booth.
Thank you, Kara. And, it has yet to be decided here at Ford Field. Both coaches see some things. They want to make some halftime adjustments. We'll get to see those live coming back next at Ford Field. Live on the prep, Central 14, Denby 6.
Every morning when I rise, my dream lives in me. This is my kingdom, a wonder world that's always changing, where great champions stand victorious. Here, We celebrate what makes us different. We share our creativity. And we grow stronger. Preparing for the world we will make together.
I am.
I am.
I am one of Detroit's next legends. It's our time to rise.
All right, we're set to go. Drayshawn Johnson to kick it off for Denby. And we'll get a chance to see special teams. And we saw a big special teams play earlier in this ball game on the fake punt, and it proved to be beneficial.
Yeah, like I said, they didn't score on that drive, but you could feel just like something burst. Like, okay, we can get the first down. Okay, we can get these guys, and that's exactly what happened. And you saw the Central coach talking about it, too. He didn't feel they played the best ball there in the second quarter. He sees if he can get them back on track here to start the third.
Back deep to receive for Central is the ever-dangerous DeCarlos White along with Calandre Hardy. This is an onside kick, and the Tars say they have it in Central territory. We'll wait for the official call. We know one thing, Zack Carr has got some brass you-know-what.
The officials are going to discuss this. The ball can change hands many times underneath the scrum, Chad. You and I both know that.
Oh, there's all kinds of things. It's Detroit Central football, so a good attempt, and we'll get another look at it here. A fine kick.
Yeah, bounced right off number 56, and then this is anybody's ball. It looked like Denby had a great shot at getting it, but like we said, the ball changes hands so many times underneath that pile. There's sometimes a little bit of pinching going on. Sometimes
Were you a pincher? Were you a pile pincher?
Listen, I did what I had to do to get that ball.
Oh, I love it. Darion Polk, 5 of 8 in the first half for 71 yards and a touchdown. And one of the things that have been bugaboos for Detroit Central is their penalties. This is already their 9th penalty of the contest stick. This is going to put them back a little further.
Yeah, and when I was watching the first half, I thought Denby had some more impact penalties, but then you look at it and it's, oh my, the Central, 9 penalties for this. This will be 55 yards.
We see the double stack wide receiver set. For Polk, the lefty steps up, gonna run, has some room on the right side, has a nice block, and he has 7 yards before he's bumped out of bounds by Harris. But we haven't seen a lot of this, the run, and this was out of the quarterback Darion Polk.
Yeah, Polk is, he played a good first quarter. First half, I won't give him a great first half, but he played a great first quarter. And here you just see him getting away, and then he got some great blocking going downfield by Demetrius Adams there.
Throws it right side, caught. He's near a first down marker. The catch is made by McCall. And it is enough for the first down. So move the chains at the 40. And a nice pitch and catch here on a low snap.
Yeah, McCall was very productive in that first half, and you like that play, just getting him out there on the edge. Nice little quick pass, get your 3 yards and another set of downs.
Tackled by Amir Harris. Motion, but momentum for Polk. Handoff inside. It's Alante Smith, the ball carrier, and a late flag after a short gain of 1.
And Amir Watts came in with that tackle. I'm not sure what the flag is. Handoff up the middle. You see Amir Watts right there, and then, my goodness, number 71, Mario Davis. You don't want that 330 falling on you, Chad.
Splash City there, too.
Belly flop. Another major penalty here on Central.
15-yard variety, and that'll negate getting into Tar territory. Don't forget, coming up later, we've got King and Cass for the PSL Blue Division Championship. Central backed up right now, but they lead it by a touchdown in a 2-point conversion. Looking right side, got a man, intercepted, picked off. They were looking downfield, and Coming up was Drayshawn Johnson, the junior corner, and he's down at the 13.
Yeah, Drayshawn Johnson just played. I mean, he played the safety position perfectly here. He was just drifting back, watching the quarterback, and that ball was in the air a long time, able to come down and track it. And there you see him. All right, you got the interception. Now get out there as a wide receiver. Do it on the offensive end.
Kind of works like a punt. They were looking for DeCarlos White. Oh, what a way to start a weekend at Ford Field on a Friday. We're fortunate to be here.
Double header.
Yeah.
4 great teams.
That's right. We got Orchard Lake St. Mary's and Brother Rice also later tonight on the prep. On Channel 1B. Handoff. Tars. Bowie. Solid gain of about 6 or 7 on first down off that left tackle.
And I like the vision by Bowie here. That was a designed off-tackle run, but you can see him pop it outside right there. Take that little jab step, and he just uses his speed to get around the corner and pick up a nice chunk on first down.
Bowie, coaches really love his playmaking ability and his versatility. As we've got another penalty on the field. Tars playing out of Division 5. Central out of Division 7.
Legal procedure on Denby.
Bowie, the only returning all-leaguer from a year ago. The fellow with that last carry. So a second down and 8 from their own 16 after the interception.
It's interesting, the last couple plays, they now move the running back to the right side, but he's been behind the quarterback.
Yeah. It's Bowie again, it's a flag again. Tackle by DeFrance Dobson. But that old hanky appears and rears its head again on this green turf. Delay a game.
Sloppy start for both teams here in the second half. Those jitters will get to you. You know, you're excited, you got a trophy on the line, you're minutes away from it. You got to play composed at all times.
Yeah. Second down and 16 from the 8. Denby going backwards. Central trying to force him into something. Here comes the blitz off the edge. Out route caught. Caught by Kenny at the 10. Lost the ball and regathered at the 11. Catch was made by number 12, Kevin Keller.
Yeah, McCall did a great job here. We see him on the offensive end, but he comes in, strips that ball. Luckily for Denby, it goes right back into their players' hands. But that was a great defensive play by McCall.
It was. Denby now 8 of 14 in the air. Both quarterbacks with a touchdown. Both quarterbacks with a pick, actually. 5 wide. Empty set. On a 3rd and 12, under 8 minutes, just underway, second half. And now we've got a player that's going to have to run off late. He gets off in time. There is a flag. There's a face mask as well. And we've got not 1 but 2 penalties. 1 on each team on this play.
I mean, that has to be a pre-snap illegal procedure, right? He came set in the backfield and ran off the field.
Yeah, I would think so.
But then you get the face mask, so this should result in an offsetting penalty, but you see a clear face mask there. My gosh. Number 50. We'll see. One was a pre-snap penalty, one was during the play.
Officials have been earning their dough tonight. We'll talk with the Executive Director of Athletics of the Detroit Public School League, Jay Alexander. Talk to Jay on the field. right after the third quarter expires.
The ultimate hustler, Jay Alexander. I was walking up here at Ford Field, and he's carrying boxes. He's doing everything that he could possibly do to make this a special occasion for all parties involved.
He's made such an impact on this community for years, and his dedication to the city and now dedication to the PSL. We're grateful for him allowing us to be here. So, after the dust settles here, it's going to be a 3rd and 12. And look, if you're Detroit Central defensively, I mean, is this a time to gamble a little bit? Maybe get a pressure, maybe get some kind of forced, or do you sit back and kind of force the Tars to shoot themselves in the foot here?
I mean, they've been doing a great job getting pressure with just their front 4 or 5, but, you know, I'm always a big fan of bringing the blitz, so you're never going to sell me on not bringing the blitz.
Kendrick in the gun, no blitz. Pressure, in trouble, evades, and throws it out of that end zone, but not before pressure's coming and not before another flag.
And Kendrick kind of goes down. You see him there near the tunnel. Not sure if it's a cramp or what, but he is getting up. But yeah, another flag on the play. We'll see what this is. There was a lot of time. Holding can happen during that time.
And
illegal man downfield.
Sorry, and if he's in the end zone, it's a safety, potentially here.
I thought there was a wide receiver in the area to where this wouldn't have been a safety.
They will pick this flag up. You are correct, sir.
Yeah, wide receiver came back to the ball. I believe it was number 12 for Denby. Kelvin Keller was able to come back to the ball. But there you see a limping quarterback. That is not a good sign for Denby.
No, it's not. The Tars already trail it by 8. They'll punt from their own end zone. In the end zone will be Dreshawn Johnson to punt it. Back deep for Detroit Central.
Definitely have the return set up, and it's almost like they're playing defense. Look, they have 4 linebackers. They're like, okay, you're not going to get another fake punt on us.
Calandre Hardy and DeCarlos White are back deep for the Trailblazers. This should be a fine fielding position halfway through this third quarter, and of course it won't happen just yet. We'll have to wait.
Delay a game. So both teams have done an incredible job of shooting themselves in the foot here to start this second half. Both first offensive possessions winding up in 4th and very, very long.
Denby has had an advantage in time of possession by nearly 5 minutes in the game, but it's Detroit Central with a 8-point lead. Here's the punt off the foot of Johnson, and the fair catch made at the 37-yard line. So Detroit Central with their best starting field position of the day. And this is a drive where you could really make a statement and see what Central can do here.
You know, I was just thinking to myself, is this one of those games where, right now, the next team that scores is most likely going to win the game? Because you could see if Denby scores first next, that they're going to take the momentum and roll with it. And you can see if Central scores right here, it's going to make that climb very hard for Denby to get back on top. So really, to me, the next score will dictate who wins this game.
Central comes in 4-3 on the year, 4-1 in the PSL Gold. Under center, Polk. Hands to DeCarlos White. And he stopped for nearly nothing. A fine stop up front. There are some wounded Tars, it appears. Rolling on the ground is Mario Davis in his big 6'4", 330-pound frame. We hope he's okay, slow to get up.
Looks like he's favoring his left leg. He's going to be able to walk it off under his own power. That's a great thing to see because he is fun to watch. That quarterback sneak where he blew his man off the ball, you could see the power on display.
There you see the head coach, Jimmy Macon, 8th year as head coach, 29th year overall at Central, 21 years as an assistant at his alma mater. Grad of '83, he played on a fine club as well when he was here. A guy that's coached so many talented players. He went to Jackson State, played 4 years of football there. Jimmy's done some wonderful things, loves playing with his grandchildren. He's been the Detroit Lions Coach of the Week. And he's been Coach of the Year 4 times by the MHSAA and the Michigan Coaches Association. Man down at the 40, tackle for loss. There's a flag down at the 37.
Bowie came flying in to make that tackle. That was a great play from the cornerback spot. We'll see what this penalty is.
There you see Jimmy Bacon on the sidelines.
This penalty's on Central. I'd think about declining it if I'm Denby. They have. They declined it.
So.
Oh.
Third down and forever. Both teams moving backwards. 3rd and 12 for the Trailblazers. Back to pass, has a man right, caught. It's White up the right sideline, and he's short of the first down after a gain of about 6. Thrown out of bounds by number 9, Drashawn Johnson. It's 4-down territory, you could imagine here, partner.
Yeah, and that's exactly where I was just going to go. Like, that was almost a safe play to make sure you get some yards, so 4th and manageable. And that was a really good play for Central. They can kind of get back on pace, back on schedule. Now anything's in the playbook.
4th down and 4 from their opponent's 32. In the gun, Polk in trouble, throws, got a man, caught! It's a first down, or close to it. They will give him the first down, move the chains at the 28-yard line. What a clutch play.
Yeah, what a play by Polk, hanging in there, taking the hit, delivering the ball. And there's Hardy again, who's had an incredible game on both sides of the ball. That guy's just got sticky hands. Huge first down right there. Look at the pressure that Polk is under. 2 guys on him, and he gets the ball off.
No doubt, a lot of strength and concentration. So it's a conversion. White on the carry up the gut. He'll drag a defender for about 6 yards. Tackle made by number 4. That's Kenny McClinton, the defensive end, and the sophomore at 6'5". Healthy gain on first.
Yeah, this is Central's best drive since the first half, or first quarter, really. And you can tell, once again, they're starting to pick up that momentum. They're starting to pick up the timing. And when this team gets rolling like this, they are really tough to stop. They have so many weapons.
You see the 4-year varsity starter, DeCarlos White, check out. A guy that really motivates all the players, shows them what he can do with his leadership, not just on the field, but in the classroom. Very accountable young man. Handoff right side. Late flag on a 2nd down and 5. The give was to number 20. That's Taj Ray. And we'll see what the flag's about. Excuse me, that's Alante Smith. As you see DeCarlos White check back on the field. Fine gain, but it looks like this is going against the defense. Move those chains. Central looking to go up a couple scores.
More penalties, more penalties, more penalties. But we'll see if Central can take advantage here. I mean, they have pretty much a 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. They gotta punch it in here.
Central last year 10-1, back-to-back 10-win seasons. Another flag ball down. It's a false start. This will be coming back. It'll be 1st and 15 from the 15.
But if you're Central, you'll take that false start right there. That play was about to be a disaster.
Yeah, another look at it here, and miscommunication up front with the center, Jamar Townsend, and the quarterback, Darion Polk. Motion, handoff. Again, it's Alante Smith, but this time it's negative yards. It's Amir Smith, number 3, with a fine play, making Amir Harris TFL. And another flag is down.
Yeah, another very slow developing play, a lot of motion going on, and really just much to do about nothing. the Denby defense makes sure that that play went for very little.
There is no flag.
Just a loss of 4.
The flag operator probably thought it was. Hard not to blame him for thinking that. Back to pass. Polk looking end zone. Too tall. He's trying to find McCall. Overshot. 3rd and 18. in what appears to be 4-down territory. Here's another look.
Yeah, he had McCall here too. If this ball's a little lower, he's got this defender beat to the inside. It was a great route run by McCall. If that pass is on point, that's a touchdown.
Polk now 10 of 15 in this game for just shy of 100 yards. He's got a touchdown to his credit. And also an interception. Both quarterbacks with a touchdown and INT. 3rd and 18, 3rd and goal from the 18. Polk pulls it down, throws out of bounds. 4th and 18.
Well, you know they're going for it. And I like Polk, man. The way he's able to extend plays, able to roll backwards. You don't see that too often with people falling backwards and still able to get some oomph on his throws. But look at that, extending the play. That ball must have gotten tipped because that was a duck coming out of his hands. We haven't seen that all day.
It was. So, late substitution. It'll be a 4 wide receiver set. They'll check White in at the tailback spot. And now we'll get a timeout. We'll take it with them. From Ford Field in downtown Detroit with 3:39 to go in the 3rd. Central trying to tack onto their lead. They're up against it. Come on back, won't you? This is the Prep.
Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss.
McGinley scores!
And it's going to be a challenge for us. I mean, they're a really talented football team. I think everybody knows that.
4 wide receivers. Pressure, steps up. Marshall wants to run again. Cuts down the middle of the field. All alone. Touchdown, Warriors! What a cut.
If your company wants to make the turn to the next level, make sure you contact Make the Turn, an award-winning digital marketing firm based right here in Metro Detroit. Founded by Mike Sullivan and Kyle Bogie in 2019, they've quickly grown to a full team of professionals who create custom marketing solutions to help grow your business. Maybe you've got a great marketing department and you want to get 10% better, or maybe you're a business owner who wants a marketing director without the full-time salary. It's worth visiting MakeTheTurn.com and checking out all the great examples and reviews. Post route caught, touchdown Central! Into the end zone, it's McCall on 4th and 18 with a post route for a touchdown. Splash City!
What a back-breaking play. I mean, 4th and almost 20. You leave a receiver wide open in the middle of the field, and of course, Polk finds him with that great vision. Look at him scan. He went through 3 or 4 different wide receivers before he pulled that trigger. That is a evolved quarterback. You see them going for 2 here, falling in. And there you go.
2-point conversion is in. How about it? The post route touchdown, the 2-pointer, and it's now 22-6. Here's another look at that strike out of the left arm of Polk.
Yeah, he scanned right first, looked off, and then he came back, and it looked like that was the second wide receiver to his left, and able to pull that trigger and make that throw. What a tremendous arm that he has.
Aaron McCall in the end zone, the Polk cannon showing off, and it's a drive that, well, it was a long one. Despite being 38 yards, it was 9 plays thanks to the penalties. It took 3 minutes and 26 seconds. And into the end zone with an 18-yard touchdown reception is McCall on a touchdown pass, his second of the game from Darion Polk.
I tell you, I'm getting more and more impressed by Polk and his poise, the way he's extending plays. And there, you know, you don't often see high school quarterbacks go through their progressions like they did, especially on 4th and 18.
You're not lying. Quite a difference from Central's last drive. 3 plays, -7 yards. This time took them 9 plays, but they score in 38. Another onside kick. Tars get it at the 48-yard line. I had my head down. What happened?
It wasn't really an onside kick, just a short kick that was able to be returned.
Okay.
I don't think they're trying to kick it deep, knowing that Denby has those big play capabilities. But if you're Detroit Central, you are feeling mighty fine about yourself right now. Not only are you getting the stops on offense, you have shown you could score in multiple ways and do multiple things.
You think about Detroit Central, you think about Antonio Gates, one of the best tight ends in the history of the game, but how about the Super Bowl MVP, Dwight Smith, who played DB at Detroit Central, was an All-American at Akron for the Zips. 3 interceptions and 2 returned back for touchdowns in Super Bowl 37 in 2003. There's a run for a first down and a 15-yard targeting called a boot. And I don't know if this is a Hollywood job or not. We hope the young man's okay. But the run by Chris Kendrick, the quarterback, and this one's going to be deep into Central territory, stick at the 25.
Yeah, and we saw Kendrick limp off the field on the last drive, and here he is making big plays with his feet. Pulled it down, and yeah, it's a tough hit. You never know exactly how hard that impact is, but he's a tough kid. Kendrick is back out there. You see him limping to the line of scrimmage, ready to run the next play. But they covered a lot of field with just that one play. What was that, a 20-yard run and a 15-yard penalty?
Yeah, that's right. Down to the 26-yard line. So Denby knows they're up against it. Down by 2 full scores. 3 minutes left in the third. Empty set for the quarterback, Chris Kendrick. Gimpy throwing, end zone, got a man. Caught or incomplete. It's dropped, but there is a flag in the end zone. They were looking for Amir Harris, and we got a PI call coming up. And the guilty party's number 21, DeFranz Dobson. Here's another look at the play.
Yeah, the ball was in the air a long time. Dobson never really turns around to look at the ball. You see him there just having his hands around the wide receiver. And whenever the ball's underthrown like that, the wide receiver's trying to work back through the defender. That's 100 times out of 100 that's getting called.
So back-to-back 15-yard penalties, along with the 11-yard run from Kendrick, has the Tars in business with the clock stopped at the 12-yard line, Stick. This is exactly what the Tars needed.
You took the words right out of my mouth again. That is exactly what they needed, a big play, quick score. But they got to put it in the end zone here without penalty.
Empty set. In trouble. Sacked. Pressure to the 23-yard line, all the way back. A TFL. And it's McGaffey again. Keyshawn with a big tackle for loss.
Yeah, you see him not even blocked, just run straight up the field at the quarterback, and he was not letting that jersey go. He wasn't even blocked.
No, and then when he grabbed the jersey, I felt like there was a 3-yard separation between the jersey and his feet.
It's one of those, the quarterback's feet are still moving because he thinks he's going.
Yeah, man. So it's a big loss in the play of 10. So the Tars, both teams have gone backwards after big gains. Kendrick, end zone, caught, touchdown! Shawntez Bowie, the returning all-leaguer from a season ago, has it for 6. And the Tars will go for 2 and try to cut this thing in half.
A little anything you can do, I can do better. You can score from 18 yards out. We're going to do it from 24 yards out. Rolling out the quarterback, giving him some extra time. And what beautiful touch that he has over the defender's head, right into the arms of his wide receiver.
Really did cause it was forced to be a touch pass. I mean, between 2 defenders, beautifully placed. And now an offsides. And the Tars using their head as well. That'll move it up. We'll see what they decide to do here after the penalty.
You know, you got to hand it to Denby. They are resilient. They just took a body blow by Central scoring. Then they, a big sack in the very next play, able to put it in the end zone.
This coach really feels like this is a state championship quality team in Division 5. Going for 2, they need it, and they get it. The quarterback sneak.
A little fumble-rooski on that, too. He dropped the snap and then was able to pick it up and go into the end zone.
Chris Kendrick makes it a 22-14 game. Yeah, there was a little bit of a bobble, but first, how about this touchdown strike of 24 yards?
Oh, what touch, too. On the run, he just kind of flicks his wrist. What a great throw by Kendrick. Denby fighting back in this game.
Another look.
Here's the fumble. Picked up. Right in the end zone.
And that's big, Stick, because if they miss that, it's a 10-point game, 2-possession game. It's down to 1 possession. There you see the coaching staff for the Tars feeling it. And what a bounce back. It was a 3-play, 51-yard drive. It took 1:42. And the pass from Kendrick to Bowie for 24 yards. And then the run by Kendrick for the 2-point conversion PAT. These teams have combined for 21 penalties for 151 yards. But this is a whale of a ball game. This is what we came to see, and the fans who continue to file in. It's a 1-possession game, Stick. And an onside kick again, and the ball is loose. Central says they have it. Turned into a battle of the onsides, and it nearly bounced back the way the Tars again.
Yeah, Jamar Townsend, the ball's getting kicked right at you. It's, please catch this ball, please catch this ball. And then he bobbles it again. They've given him 2 opportunities to recover these onside kicks. Whew.
Oh, man, it looked like Deshaun Johnson had a chance. Here's a look at Zack Carr in his 3rd year, 4th year overall. He was an assistant his 1st year coming over. Former offensive line coach at Detroit King, won a state title there in 2018. He's a Detroit Kettering grad, proud grad of 2002. First team All-City in 2000 and 2001. He went to Kentucky State. He was a thoroughbred. He would finish his education at Eastern Michigan and won a state title, as we mentioned, with King in 2018. It's the Carr way, the 4 Carr values. It's very important to them. They live by it. And that is something that they stand by. And right now, the Card way and the resilience starting to pay dividends, Stick.
Yeah, and you can see the energy absolutely pick up on the sidelines and on the field for Denby. The players are getting that nervous energy, that little twitch, the little bounce in your step. And once you start feeling that, it's tough to stop.
It really is. So, 2nd down and 10. No gain on that 1st down play from midfield for Central. Carway, character, accountability, relationships, and respect. Ball is loose on the deck, and it is picked up by Central at the 36-yard line. Turnover
avoided, thank goodness for Central.
Nearly on that possession. How about it?
Just the pressure, unblocked, coming from the edge. Big number 4, a huge forced fumble. And he's had a great game. Clinton's had a great game today. But here we go, 3rd and 24. But as we've seen, both teams have been very dangerous in long down situations.
How many long downs have we seen? And they've converted at times.
Touchdowns.
3rd and long, 4th and long, touchdowns, big conversions. Final 30 seconds of this wild, fun division championship. Back to pass, Polk airs it out, right side, got a man, and he's just over the outstretched arms. Oh man, number 8 with Harris in coverage. They were looking for Demetrius Adams.
And once again, Polk just hanging in the pocket. Oh, just out of his reach. And put the safety belt on him there at the end. Let him know you're locked up.
So the Tars in prime position with 20 ticks left in this 3rd quarter to get the football back, of course, in plenty of time, but more importantly for Detroit Denby, I mean, they're feeling themselves right now. This is the time to get the rock back.
Yeah, no matter what happens after this play, whether it's a fake punt, 1st down, or whatever, Denby in this 4th quarter is going to be something special.
So the kick is underway, and it's a fair catch that's made by Johnson. That is made at the 34-yard line. Want to thank Mario's for their fine food today. Great Italian cuisine. We had pasta, meat pasta. We had just the marinara. We had a beautiful salad with excellent creamy Italian dressing that you're
the
forced
garbanzo
to smell.
beans, and it was just a great overall experience at Mario's, and it always is.
There's
great
something-
date night in the city.
It is. Is that where we're going later?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, I'll go back and eat some more. They got lobster thermidor there, I've heard.
Something about what'd you say?
Yeah. See, we're going bougie.
All right, we'll get back to that in a minute. Here's a horse collar call coming up. Ball's loose, but it won't matter. This was the quarterback under pressure. Chris Kendrick.
Yeah, it looks like he got a little bit of a face mask before. That's going to be an additional 15 yards.
Face mask and a horse collar.
Yeah.
That might be 30.
In one swipe. He got the face mask first. Right there. Yeah. And then he pulled him down.
Yeah, you're right. It was a face mask and a horse collar. Well, 15 yards. That'll move him up to about midfield.
I mean, that's 30 yards in penalties in the past about 4 plays.
Yeah.
Those penalties are just mounting up.
So, Denby on the move, down by 8. As the seconds wind down in the third, Jay Alexander with Carol Wolfbauer coming up on the other side of this timeout. Gridiron Game Day Championship Variety from downtown Detroit, the City Championship. A tight one. Don't go anywhere. We're the Prep. This is Gridiron Game Day.
Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss.
McGinley scores!
Welcome back with us on Gridiron Game Day. My name is Carol Wolfbauer, joined by Jay Alexander, the Executive Director of Athletics for Detroit Public Schools. Thanks for joining us today. Jay, tell us a little bit about what these games really mean to Detroit Public Schools and being here at Ford Field.
Well, it means everything to these kids. It's a great opportunity for them to strive to get here. That means you got to do a couple things. You got to do well in school, right? So the classroom is most important, and then you got to do well on the field, and then you got to get your team to do well to be able to have this opportunity to be here.
Every got to play there with us here on the sideline. Exactly like you talked about here with the game, but you talked to me earlier about covering 94 schools. Tell me about the different services you offer and what this means to you guys.
Yeah, that's great. We offer a lot of programming here, and we're getting a lot more programming, right? We've increased sports, we've increased kids, we've increased from 4,000 to 8,000 kids doing athletics. So getting them off the streets and on the field and in the classroom, that's what we're about.
That's wonderful. Thank you for joining us here with this partnership, and we've got a little more action here in the game, and we'll set it back up to Chad and the guys in the booth.
All right, thank you so much, Kara. Thank you, Jay Alexander.
They almost got hit on that play, too. The action was coming right at him.
Got to have your head on a swivel. We know Kara does. She's a accomplished softball student athlete.
Here it comes, watching the background, the play coming at him. All of a sudden, Kara's going to look. Jay's going to look. Uh-oh.
Everybody, it's all fun and games until you got a running back flying at you. Look at that. Jay's like, I was ready. Did you say Jay hiding behind Kara? That's what I saw. No, we're going to get him for that one.
Great replay.
And an outstanding run by the Tars, who are on the move. Handoff, Kenny left side. He's got maybe a yard or two. The give was to Kevin Keller, rather. Strung out of bounds.
Keller's got a little Jacquizz Rogers feel to him when he's out there touching that ball, doesn't he?
Yep.
Great running back.
Jacquizz.
Yep.
Yeah.
Heck of a college career.
Is it Oregon State?
Correct.
And a brother maybe that did some things. I digress. Second down and 15. We've all had a brother that's done some things. Motion left to right. Play action. Looking downfield. Kendrick. Going to get it out to Harris. Harris stepped out of bounds, I believe, just at about the 21-yard line. And so now it'll set up a 3rd down and about 10.
And I think this is what Coach was talking about at halftime, watching their defensive ends following their running backs. They kind of just threw them out to the top of the screen as a decoy and then came back the other way. So you see Carr thinking the game through, making those halftime adjustments. You know, and I've heard people argue, oh, there's no such thing as halftime adjustments. I mean, whoever says that, they don't know what they're talking about.
Whoever says that's never made a halftime adjustment.
Exactly.
3rd and 9. Motion Harris. Kendrick throws to Harris right side, and to come back for it. Open field outside. 15-10. Down to the 7-yard line. And the Tars with a 14-yard gain when they needed it the most on 3rd and long from Harris.
Yeah, and I'm impressed with Harris and that entire route. You know, they put him in motion, they get him up at the top of the screen on a little flare, but watch him come back inside. If he turns outside, he's almost tackled immediately, but since he turned back inside, he was able to beat the defender.
Harris with offers from Army, Air Force, Ball State, Grand Valley, Saginaw Valley, and Wayne State. We'll be at Wayne State tomorrow for a little football, college football from Tom Adams Field. That's where the championship game was last year. Nice little upgrade from the PSL this year. Fade route, end zone, incomplete. They were trying to find McClinton, and that's a risky effort there.
Yeah, especially when you got Aaron McCall back there just kind of stalking that football. Watch him. Watch number 5 here. He's just tracking. That very well could have been an interception.
What a game for McCall. Well defended there. He also offensively has been magnificent. 6 receptions, 73 yards, and a touchdown. Perhaps our G of the game candidate, leading candidate. 2nd down, goal to go from the 6. Wildcat. They're going to sneak Bowie Jr. in at quarterback, and he'll have a short gain stick. It'll set up a 3rd and 5.
And he wants to run it again. He's like, let's do it again, Coach. I like when I'm playing quarterback because he had that big run and to get him down here. So, you know, give him a little bit of sugar. Chris Kendrick, we saw him limped off the field. He's back in now, though, so you wonder if they're just trying to take a little bit of load off of him or if that's a part of the wrinkle that they always run. But either way, it's good to see Kendrick back on the field.
Yes, it is. Kendrick is in the gun here. Keller to his right. Rolling right. Keeping it. 5. Pass. End zone. Off the fingertips of McClinton. Oh, a nice little deke on 3rd and goal. Came up empty.
And that's 2 big drops from McClinton today. One was for a 1st down. This one was for a touchdown. I'm wondering if he was past the line of scrimmage. It would have been a very close call. Because remember, if you're past the line of scrimmage, every part of you, even if you have a toe dragging behind, you're fine.
This is a 4th down play. 4th down and 6. I think he was over the line. I really do, but it's irrelevant now. A timeout before this big 4th down and goal to go. We'll take a timeout with them. We're back in 60 seconds to Ford Field in Detroit. What a banger it's been for the Gold Division title. Come on back, won't you?
Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss.
McGinley scores!
And it's going to be a challenge for us. I mean, they're a really talented football team. I think everybody knows that.
4 wide receivers. Pressure. Steps up. Marshall wants to run again. Cuts down the middle of the field. All alone. Touchdown. Warriors. What a cut.
Welcome back to Ford Field. Tars getting set to run this 4th down play from the 6-yard line stick. What do we expect?
You don't know. I mean, we've seen him run a quarterback sneak from just about 2 yards closer, so that's always on the table. You got those big linemen. You want to put the big dogs going forward, but they also have the athleticism on the outside. That's what's tough to stop, and that's what's tough to match up with. But you want to put pressure on the quarterback. No matter what the play is, get pressure up the middle.
That's right. So here we go, 4th down.
They switched out the quarterback.
So Harris in at quarterback, and to take it himself into the end zone. Touchdown, Tars! Amir Harris in the Wildcat, in the third quarterback we've seen in this series, scores the touchdown. 2-point conversion away from knotting this thing up.
Yeah, that was a weird play. They shifted the quarterback out of position. They put a wide receiver in there, and he's able to use his speed, go right up the gap. Oh, my. That was so close to being tackled short of the end zone, but look at the speed and the awareness, keeping his head down the field even if he could pass.
So now, here's the big play, the 2-point conversion. Back in is the quarterback, a natural quarterback, Chris Kendrick, and he draws the defense off sides. Heady play. They'll move it down to the 1.5-yard line.
And coach is unfortunately taking 50 out after that play. He says, no more. No more. We cannot jump off sides. And that makes it a little bit closer, and you know what's coming. Looks like they're doing the QB push here.
Under center, Chris Kendrick, who's been gimpy in this game, has come back. And we've got a false start this time.
Oof, that's brutal. You know, because the defensive penalty, what does it do? It costs you 2.5 yards, right? Or maybe a yard because of where the ball's placed. Offensive penalty, it costs you the full 5.
That's right.
So now they're going to be back around the 6.5-yard line.
That's a good point. So there's a player down as well now for Central, and that's one of their most productive players in this game in McCall, the leading receiver in the contest. No, it's not McCall. I apologize. He's up. Looks like number 5.
It's 50. 50-something. Not 50, though. Could be 51, Christopher Polk.
Well, while they work on him.
55.
Oh, good old double nickels.
Brazil Johnson.
Yeah.
6'1", 240 defensive lineman.
We hope he's okay.
He's getting up on his own power.
If you could please subscribe on our YouTube page, it's free. And if you follow us on social media, on all of our socials, we'd really appreciate it. Little TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and right here where you're watching our YouTube channel. Join our sponsorship team today, info@theprepsports.com. Any questions, comments, concerns?
And
we'll take it all.
If you're watching, get active in the chat, too. Guess the score. Tell us who you think the player of the game is going to be. We got the G of the game coming up. Put your votes in now for who the G of the game should be. But while you're in the chat, have some fun with each other. Just keep it clean during the rivalries. That's all we ask.
Yeah, we've had a lot of nice participation this year on the chat. This is a 2-point conversion. The Tars are 2 points away from tying it. Central trying to keep Denby out of that end zone. There's been a couple penalties on this attempt. A microcosm of this game. That said, it's been a wonderful game, and it's come down to this, but there's a lot of time left. 8:13 to go. Here we go. Kendrick in the gun. Needs 7 yards to tie the game. Rolling left, got a man wide open, caught. 2-point conversion is cash. Shantez Bowie Jr., and we're all knotted up at deuce aside.
Yeah, and Bowie was the key to that entire drive. When he got in and made that big run, it was about a 40-yard run to get him down there. And then you saw him switching into the quarterback position in the Wildcat, and here he is on the outside catching the ball. But this was one of those adjustments that I think they were talking about. The wide receiver, the running backs getting loose because their defensive end were kind of spying them. And Coach Carr talked about it. He's going to use that coming in here at the second half.
This was a 14-0 game. Detroit Central led it 14-0 in the contest. And things have changed since. 14-6, Denby got it to before the break. But the run by Denby here, a couple scores back-to-back, and it's tied at 22. Amir Harris on a quarterback keeper from 6 yards out in the Wildcat. And a Chris Kendrick to Shantez Bowie Jr. 2-point conversion. We're tied at 22. 8 plays, 66 yards, 3 minutes, 52 seconds. And we are tied up with 8:13 to go, Stu.
And you know what we've seen the last two kickoffs, some onside kicks.
And this one is a boot job. It's going to go down to the 18. And before we could get off and running, in fact, the kickoff kid's still on the field.
Legal procedure on the kicking team.
Man. Well, these two teams have played cleaner this year.
Yeah, 26 penalties so far in this game. 26, Chad. That is a lot of yardage that has gone unaccounted for. And that's what's interesting when you look at the offensive totals. It's like, oh, well, they went 200 forward, but they also went 150 back.
Right on. This is going to take the Tars all the way back to the 35-yard line. We get a look at this crowd. Things starting to get heated in a good way. Sportsmanship's been outstanding. Just fans are getting excited. This was looking to be a laugher. It was 14-0. Denby has come all the way back. Look at the fans and the excitement here at Ford Field. It's been 7 years since the PSL has been back here, and boy, are they excited. You heard Jay Alexander. This is where it belongs, right? Great partners with the Lions at Ford Field.
No, this is 100% where it should be, and especially with these high schools and their proximity to how close this is. Now, that's what makes it really cool.
Here's the kickoff. It's an onside, and it's wonderful hands by number 6, and that is Sebastian Pamplin, the sure-handed tight end and the linebacker.
Sure hands on that one. That was the first onside kick that Central almost didn't give it back to Denby. But, you know, it's an interesting call with that onside kick. Denby showing that they trust their defense, giving the ball on a short field, starting at the 50-yard line in a tie game. Now it's up to the defense to show up big and get a stop. They put great pressure all day long on Polk. But Polk's been able to stay back there, take the hits, stay poised in the pocket. This last 8 minutes is going to tell us a lot about both these teams.
It's an RPO jet sweep version. This quarterback's a smart cookie, and he's made a lot of great decisions tonight. Mr. Polk. This time, there's no decision to make. He's sacked in the backfield. And a quick sack by Kenny McClinton, the 6'5" defensive end.
And they have had issues with him coming off the edge all game long. He has been in that backfield causing problems. They want to send a running back over the chip or just kind of roll away from him at some point.
Polk, a transfer from Dearborn A&T in the offseason. What a great addition. They had to replace that position. He's a left-handed quarterback. Slant route caught across the field, 45-40, inside to the 36-yard line. Who else? Mr. McCall up to his old habits.
And I was about to give more credit to McClinton there. You know, he faked outside and went inside and still was able to put pressure on. But once again, Polk just hanging in there, taking the hit, and delivering a dime.
How about the passing numbers for Detroit Central in this game? Polk 12 and 19 for 136 and 2 touchdowns. Handoff left side, and this is Alante Smith, the 5'10", 215-pound fire plug, and the junior with a healthy gain on first.
That was another strange play, too. It looked like Central jumped off sides. The guard or tackle was able to pull himself back, and they let him run the play. I don't think I've ever seen that where the offense has jumped that bad, and they're just like, just go ahead.
Oh, man, that was a bit awkward looking. Central on the move. Passing route over the middle, and it's just wide of the intended target. Reset it to a 3rd down and mid.
Those middle crossing routes have been kind of the bread and butter today for Detroit Central. Nice little sidearm release just out in front of the wide receiver.
So, hitch route dropped. Great defensive convergence. Coming up was Trayvon Cottrell, the sophomore, to make the play. Broke it up, 4th down.
And obviously a big 4th down from Cottrell here. I mean, you see it. I mean, even if he catches that ball, he's going to catch it for a loss.
So, 4th down. 4th downs have been a thing. Central 2 of 3 on 4th down in this contest. Denby 2 of 5. 4 wide receivers. Back to pass, Polk. Over the middle, caught at the 10. 5, touchdown, McCall. Oh, the kid has been something tonight. And on 4th down, a cash job, McCall by way of Polk. Touchdown, Trailblazers.
I am just so impressed by Polk and how he hangs in there and is able to get this ball in the exact spot between 2 defenders. That is a perfect dime throw by Polk.
3rd touchdown pass of the night. 2-point conversion coming up, and that's not going to convert. Fine play by Watts, number 44, to come up and make the play off the edge. 6 points on the board. Here's another look at the touchdown stick.
Yeah, once again, a beautiful play in between 2 defenders, and that's the response that Central needed. This game was starting to get a little out of control for them. Denby had got back on the scoreboard, converting their 2-point conversions, and tied the game up after Central had been dominating the whole game. So that is a massive response. And, I just cannot get over how close those throws are to being either intercepted or incomplete.
On point, well-timed, and certainly practiced. 6 plays, 50 yards. It took a minute 55, and it was a touchdown pass of 33 yards from Polk to McCall. The PAT run by Smith, no good. And here we sit, partner, with 6:18 to go and a 6-point game. Central trying to win their 3rd straight Gold Division title.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to knock anything that Central did on that past drive, they scored too quickly. That's it. That's the only thing you can say about it. Minute 45 off the clock, that's fine. You want the points on the scoreboard, but there's still a lot of time in this ball game.
The star of the game thus far, Aaron McCall, 8 catches, 125 yards, 2 touchdowns, none bigger than that last one. A 33-yard snatch to pay dirt. Kickoff by 3, taken by 3. Amir Harris running circles at the 15. Makes the turn, a flag is down, and he's out of bounds at the 23-yard line. Finally chased out of bounds by DeCarlos White. And we'll see what this is all about.
I would assume holding and coming back. Man, the amount of effort he put in to get, what was that, -2?
It's fun to watch.
It is fun to watch, but oof. I'd be done for a week after trying to sprint that far. I was like, okay, that's enough.
Central led 14-0. They led 14-6 at the break. And then the Tars have come back here trailing with a couple of touchdowns. And they tied it at 22 at the 8:13 mark, but back came Central on their drive, their 2-minute drive that results in a touchdown. 2-point conversion, not good. So Tars will get backed up here with a penalty. And that's where Chris Kendrick, the sophomore quarterback, has been a bit dinged up in this game, will come back out. Now, we've seen 3 different quarterbacks. Right now, it is number 1 Chris Kendrick behind center. And now we've got a false start or illegal procedure. And that's going to be another boo-boo.
Why is our cameraman highlighting the lineman? The wide receiver jumped too. It's always on the big fellas.
You got to protect the receivers. Just keep it in the middle. The linemen don't care. They're expected to.
There we go. It's the other wide receiver at the bottom of the screen, but that's okay. I appreciate what you guys did there.
And 171 gets stuck in motion. There's no coming back. This is a tackle for loss all the way back inside the 5.
That's inside the 1.
You're right. Demetrius Adams with a big TFL. They'll mark it just inside the 1. How about this Central avalanche from the defense?
Yeah, we've seen both sides, their defensive ends, just been able to crash by the tackles and get pressure on the quarterback. There you go. You're looking at a quarterback sneak just to get some breathing room.
2nd and 25, and it is a quarterback sneak, and it is a sneak by Kendrick out to the 4. A fine job to fight through a bunch of maulers in the middle.
Well, they've run that play. That's about the 5th time today they've run that play. One time was questionable on 4th and 4 from the 4, trying to get a touchdown out of it. But that's a great play call. You're giving yourself some breathing room. Now you can drop back to pass. You can do a lot more things with 15 yards to spare.
Don't forget, coming up is our G of the Game, sponsored by G-Brand. The awarded player will get the G-Brand Player of the Game hat, limited edition. In the end zone, over the middle, caught at the 15 and tackled by White. It's a fine catch by McClinton, the tight end. And now it's a manageable 4th down if you want to go for it. Stick, something to think about.
I don't even think they're thinking about it. This is what their offense has been doing. This is what they've done all game long. You've made big plays on 4th down. Now it's time to make another one if you're Denby. You want the championship? Go get it.
4th and 8 from their own 18. The Tars have all 3 timeouts left as we climb under 5 minutes.
Watch that hard count, though, if you're Central.
That's right.
They've been caught a couple times this game.
Kendrick, the quarterback, 3 to the right. In the slot right is Kevin Keller. Rolling. Needs 8 to move it along, and he got it! First down by a yard. Oh, my. The Cardiac Kids continue the journey. And who else but Amir Harris with a snatch to continue the drive.
And that's what the play that they scored a touchdown on earlier, rolling the quarterback out to the right, buying him some extra time, and just that little touch pass over the top to his wide receivers. It's worked all game long.
Gain of 10 on the play. They needed 8. Harris with a catch. 4 catches now for 70 yards. He's the leading target for the Tars. Under 4 minutes. Down by 6. Tars trying to stay perfect with a 7-0 record. Quarterback keeper with Kendrick. He fights to get a yard and make it 2nd and 9.
Man, Central's been able to put pressure on the quarterback, and really it's kind of been a mirror image of both teams, the way they've been playing. And you never know what to expect because big plays have been happening all over the place. But great pressure, forcing the quarterback up the middle. And good job by the linebacker, number 26, coming up to make the tackle.
Kendrick's pass is caught for a first down. A little wiggle and a little woggle, and Kevin Keller has a big-time play at 5'6" for a first down.
Looks like Central is just playing a prevent defense. They're giving the wide receivers tons of space underneath. Look at that, 3 wide receivers all wide open in the same spot.
Keller came off holding that wrist. Keep an eye on that. And a big part of the team's effort today.
Yeah, it'll be an official's timeout because Keller got back on the field, and you can see him here at the bottom of the screen holding his wrist. They're going to make him go get looked at on the sidelines.
It's one tough cookie, the sophomore, Kevin Keller. He will have to check out, as Stick told you. Dorian Jennings, the freshman, will check in. 1st and 10 from the 42. Tars down by 6. 2:45 left. They've got all 3 timeouts. Kendrick, comfy in the pocket, swings it left side, has a man Bowie across the 40 into Central territory at the 38-yard line. 1st and 10. Move the chains.
Once again, Coach Carr told us at halftime that he's going to keep an eye on those running backs, that the defensive ends were spying him, and he's leaked them out a couple times for some big gains. There is another one. Once again, just great coaching.
14 of 23 for 190 yards and a touchdown for Chris Kendrick, the sophomore quarterback, trying to lead his team to a game-time, perhaps game-winning drive. 2:15 left. Timeout on the field. Denby will spend its first, and we'll take it with them. We're back with 2:12 to go. To downtown Detroit. What a way to start this Friday. Glad you chose to start it with us. We're the Prep. This is Gridiron Game Day.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start?
Here, in the classroom.
On the diamond.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss.
McGinley scores!
First and 10 for Denby with 2:12 to go. Exciting times in a one-score game, 28-22 Central on top. We've seen 3 quarterbacks in, but it's been mainly Chris Kendrick most of the way. Wide open over the middle of the field where they found soft coverage, and they couldn't convert, could the Tars.
Yeah, I think that ball got tipped at the line of scrimmage, causing that incompletion. But once again, Denby just having wide open wide receivers. Let's see. Yep, the ball got tipped by number 55, who we saw go down earlier, and now he's back, so that's great to see.
That's the freshman Brazil Johnson.
Great name.
Making an impact play. Well, Brazil sounds good about now. Back to pass. Middle screen again, or middle curl again. Caught. Gain of about 8, short of the first down, but that middle looks to be nice and comfy and soft. Drayshawn Johnson with a catch as he limps off.
Yeah, Denby has definitely found something with that over-the-middle pass, and it's just a little curl route. See, he's just sitting down in the zone, waiting for it. Saw big number 55 again, Brazil trying to get his paw on it. Couldn't knock that one down, though.
3rd and 3, 95 seconds left in this contest, the city championship from Detroit. Clock rolling. Now, Denby does have all 3 timeouts. It was Central that took that last timeout. And a timeout. Denby's going to take it.
Looked like they were playing another quarterback sneak there, the way Kendrick's leverage was lining up behind the center.
Want to thank our friends at Success Mortgage Partners. In today's ever-changing real estate and mortgage lending world, the importance of a true professional has never been higher. At Success Mortgage Partners, our mission is for every borrower to receive level 10 service, and our goal is to get you the lowest rate possible. We want you to have an experience of a lifetime in navigating a turbulent market like this. It needs to be handled by a real professional. Call Todd Barr today at 734-674-6154 and put 20 years of local knowledge to use for you and your family. Success Mortgage Partners Incorporated supports equal housing opportunity. NMLS ID number 130562. Don't forget, coming up after this, Detroit King versus Detroit Cass Tech for the PSL Blue Division Championship. And we also have Orchard Lake St. Mary's and Brother Rice at the top of the hour going on simultaneously. All right, here we go. 3rd and 3 stick from the 32. Kendrick looking left side. Man caught. Amir Harris at the 20 across the field. One guy to get past. Lines up a blocker. Out of bounds to the 15-yard line. Oh, what a gain on the play, a 17 yards, and the clock stops.
And I like what Denby did there. They were running that little curl route over the middle. They run it again, but it was a curl and go. That play wasn't there. Kendrick was able to pull it down, throw it to his running back, and Harris able to make the rest happen. And we saw him try to do it on a punt return. Looked a little bit better there.
You see why the guy has 7 offers. He's been the glue of this team since number 3 has been here for 3 years as a starter. Throw left side, caught. Johnson inside the 10, shakes loose a tackle down to the 5. Gain of 5. Actually make it 8 on first down. Under 50 seconds to go. There's a player down for Central. The clock will stop. But how about this play, Stick?
I mean, he's just been a tough runner all game long, breaking tackles. And you see it there. Denby has just found a good thing, throwing to the flats and throwing that little hook pattern over the middle. But it all comes down to this. I mean, we're underneath a minute. You got, what, maybe 3-4 plays left to get into the end zone. If they don't get a first down here, it's going to be a very, very interesting finish.
McFarland Electronics is in the house. We want to thank them. They're your one-stop AV guy for all your home automation needs. Whether it's your network, motorized blinds, automated lighting scenes, frame TVs, rings, Sonos, Savants, and much, much more. They're your outdoor TV and speaker specialist. And you can get your backyard ready for the big game this fall. You won't be disappointed. And the best speakers on earth, the best systems on earth, let them bring McFarland Electronics to you and gift you all your digital needs. 248-379-4369. Go get them today. They're in the atrium. You can see the big 75-inch TV. And we really appreciate our partnership with McFarland Electronics. There is a player on the field down, and that's why there is a delay. But the good news is that player is up. It's Demetrius Adams. And Stick, we're in a 2nd down and 2 from the 5 for Denby, looking to go in and tie this game up.
Yeah, and if you're Central, you kind of want to keep doing what you're doing, getting pressure on the quarterback. You've had some big plays. You know, the penalties have kind of subsided here the last 8 minutes of this game, which has been nice to see. Well, this is it right here. Use those big nasties and go right into the end zone if you're Denby.
All right, here we go. It is the Wildcat quarterback, Bowie Jr. in at quarterback. And a 2nd and 2 with the clock rolling. Gonna keep it himself. Left side, inside the 5. Touchdown, Denby! The Wildcat has been fruitful today. Bowie Jr. with a score. And we're tied at 28 with 33 ticks. 2-point conversion attempt upcoming, Stick.
Oh, and if you're Central, you had a shot there to make that tackle too. You turn him back up. McCall had him dead to right, but that little step arm and step into the ground right there to get it on the inside of McCall. Look at McCall with his hands on his helmet. He knows he missed the tackle.
So now it comes down to this. Look, neither offense set up to go and score with 33 seconds left. This could be the ball game. So, in the gun, back in is Chris Kendrick. The 2-point conversion attempt and a tie game at 28. And it's a penalty. There's movement up front, and it's on Central. So they'll move this thing up now, half the distance.
Yep, and I would expect Denby to get back into their quarterback sneak play that they like to run for about 2 yards. Because when you have big number 71 up there, big number 77, 55, and 50, you just get behind them. Are they calling this on Denby?
Yeah, they're calling this on Denby.
It looked like Central jumped to me.
Yeah, that's what Pat the Stat thought too. Well, so.
Oh, wow.
They're going to move this thing back to the 8-yard line.
That changes a lot.
Sure does. And Denby late making some moves. They do have another timeout. In fact, they have 2 more timeouts if they want.
Might as well use one here to talk it over with your team.
This is an extra point attempt. They're going to try to kick this thing. They're going to try a PAT with Drashawn Johnson out of the hold of Bowie Jr. And the extra point is up, and it is good! Extra point is good. Denby 29, Central 28 on a PAT from Drashawn Johnson. Bowie Jr. with a hold.
And who would have thought, out of the whole 4 quarters, the most exciting play would be a general after point. But my goodness, that was probably the most exciting play of the game. And what a call by Coach Carr, knowing that his boys had it in them to kick that, because we had not seen the kicking game all day long for either team.
Man, oh man. The guy who held the extra point is so important. Shantez Bowie Jr., I can't say enough. The guy who snaps the football is so important. This has to happen. And you know the confidence level for Denby hasn't been there if they haven't gone for it until the final play. And to pull it off like that, you're right. It is an exciting PAT. When would we ever think a PAT would be this exciting until now?
I mean, the way Denby was running back after kicking that, it was literally like they won the Super Bowl on a play, on a Hail Mary play. But no, the odds are almost the same.
Wow. Tars looking for the title, trying to disrupt this 3-peat attempt by Central. Man, oh man. It was a 14-0 lead for Detroit Central. And here comes the kickoff. Now, it's not over yet. 33 seconds remain. Denby's going to call a timeout. Let's recap that last score. It was a Shantez Bowie Jr. touchdown, his second of the game, to tie the ball game up. A 5-yard touchdown run, and then the PAT by Deshaun Johnson to give him the 29-28 lead. It was a 12-play drive, 79 yards. It took 5 minutes and 45 seconds. And how about the Tars, who come from behind to take the lead with 33 seconds left? What a ball game.
Yeah, and they just kept taking what the defense was giving them on that drive. You know, those little curl routes over the middle, they completed about 3 or 4 of those, and you dump the ball off to the running back in the flats. They're able to turn that short gain. And then, of course, the great run to get into the end zone on the last play. You got to hand it to Denby. They never gave up. They never lost hope, and their coach pulled all the tricks that he could out of the bag. We're talking onside kicks. We're talking fake punts.
Yeah.
And an extra point. Who knew?
Who knew? Who knows? Maybe Central has some kicking up their sleeve. This game's not over. 33 seconds left. Denby up by 1. Again, they trailed out of the gates 14-0. And this kick is going to go into the hands of White at the 35. And he's down at the 41. 28 seconds, make it 27 seconds remain. Detroit Central's got to make a move and move quickly.
And they have done it. They've had several big chunk plays today, especially with McCall on the field. That is the guy that I would be looking for right now. He's got 125 yards on the day, 2 touchdowns, and he's the guy that's been able to break it open if he gets between those safeties. So this game is not over by a long shot.
No, sir. So, back in at quarterback is Darion Polk, the transfer from Southfield A&T, Dearborn A&T. What a day he has had. And he'll send 3 wide to the left, empty set, and 1 wide right. 27 seconds left. And Denby wants to call their final timeout. And they will.
I don't mind that. You get a look at what the offense is going to bring out, and it kind of looked like they had some mismatches up top, too. It looked like one wide receiver was not being covered. So that's a good timeout, and why not? You can't take it with you.
Mark Mobley is the D coordinator for the Tars. We've had such a fantastic season. 7-0 start. They trailed in this game. Heck, they trailed in the Week 4 matchup between these two teams.
Yeah.
By double digits.
Almost an identical blueprint of what that game was. The second half, obviously, a lot more contested. But the getting down early, then a large comeback late. Hand it to Denby. That's how you go undefeated, though. You got to be resilient. You got to be battle tested.
Coach Zack Carr said he couldn't say enough. So proud of his team and being leaders in the building. He says a lot of times you get some knuckleheads. He says, I don't have any knuckleheads. These guys lead by example, and the teachers and administrators just can't say enough good things about them. Back to pass, left side, double coverage, and that is incomplete. The second tip gave Hardy hope, but it falls incomplete.
That was one of those where you see it get tipped up. I think you saw it last night in a college game. A Hail Mary get tipped up and the second wide receiver come in, but that almost went off his helmet.
Well, folks have asked, what is a tar? Well, a tar is a sailor. You see, the namesake for the school, Edward Denby, was a sailor. And so a tar is a sailor, and yeah, there's some proud sailors out there. We talked about Shante Orr, former NFL guy. Josh Landon from Fox 2. Josh does a great job. He's a Denby graduate. He works with Erica Francis. But this is a team that the coach, Zack Carr, says this is a 2024 class, very good. 2025 is better, but the best is yet to come. He says his 2026 class is really where a lot of our talent is stockpiled. So this is not a one-trick pony for the Tars, who finished 5-4 last year. They finished with, what, 8 kids his first year. I mean, it was a disaster, but it's a really nice story what Zack Carr has done at Detroit Denby High School.
Yeah, that was the story. He had 8 kids on the team. By the end of the season, they had 22. They ended up having a losing record that year. They went 2-5. They had to forfeit their first 2 games. But to be able to build a program out of dust is pretty incredible.
Really is. There's a player down and
looking like cramps.
Yeah.
Stretching them out.
Remember getting those in the Silverdome turf?
I didn't play enough, so I never got cramps.
Well, appreciate your honesty. I didn't always either, but I would seem to run around and get cramps on that dome turf.
Yeah. I remember playing in wrestling shoes on the turf because remember, you're used to playing with your cleats, and then it's like, oh, you got to play on this Astro turf, and man, it was like getting tackled on cement.
Oh, I know. Amir Harris is the injured player, guy that's a scholarship player. It looks, no doctor, but it appears like cramps. Pat the stat says so.
Yeah, when they're working on your hamstrings or working on your lower legs and just stretching you out.
Pat was a hospital corpsman, so I'm gonna trust Pops on this one. He knows a cramp when he sees one. So Harris is off the field. 20 seconds left, 2nd and 10 from their own 41. Central up against it. They once led 14-0 in this game. They led 14-6 at the break, but Denby has come back to cash in with a PAT with 27 seconds left to take the lead. In trouble, and down he goes. And that should do it. Sacked all the way back by Jawan Watts, the senior defensive end, as time winds out. Central will get a play to throw it on the turf to try to stop the clock. And I believe they did with a second left. The officials are going to give them 1 second left.
The Denby crowd is ready to explode. But that's what Denby's been doing all game long, getting pressure on the quarterback. I mean, Polk has definitely been able to fend it off. He's been able to stay in there and take the hits, but the pressure eventually gets to you after a while, and that's what we see here on that last play. But one more play to stop him, and we've seen crazier things happen.
We have Denby by a point. Central in a 3rd and 23 and 2 seconds left on the clock. You see Denby starting to feel it. To pass in trouble, and down he goes again. Polk is sacked, and this time to end the game, it's Keshawn King, the senior defensive tackle. This ball game is over. The Tars have won the city title of the PSL in the Gold Division. Come from behind fashion, 29-28. Denby stops the thought of a three-peat for Central.
What an incredibly hard-fought game on both sides of the ball. Both teams really did it up. I mean, it was a battle of the first 2 quarters, and the second half was kind of just a great half of football to watch. Penalties were a massive part of this game, but it was penalties on both sides. It was very evenly matched. Pressure on quarterbacks both ways, but big plays at the end went Denby's way, and here they are walking off undefeated.
We'll take a quick pause before we get our G of the game on the field. I know Carol Wolfbauer's working to get our G of the game. We'll have him momentarily. There's the moment they've been waiting for on the east side of Detroit on Kelly Road. A moment of gratitude. And how about the tears of joy in downtown Detroit right now, centerpiece by that big, gentle giant, Zack Carr.
Yeah, Harris just screaming, "Let's go, coach. Let's go, coach." You could tell this is a family on and off the field. What a major win for this program.
All right, let's go down on the field for our G of the game, sponsored by G-Brand USA. Take it away, Carol Wolfbauer.
Thanks, Chad. Like you said, we're here with our G of the game, number 5, Shantez Bowie Jr. Congratulations today. 2 touchdowns with the go-ahead touchdown, too. You guys be able to get that extra point and move up tonight. So how does it feel to be here? You can see the community behind us going crazy tonight and to have that last touchdown.
Yeah, it was very important. And first, this wasn't even for me. This for Coach. He wanted this game real bad. We've been practicing for this game since we played him. We knew we was going to play him, and we knew what we had to do.
So humble and fantastic on the field as well. But like you said, this was for coach, but also for the guys in the community as well. So tell me about how your team was coming into this game and what this really means to all of you guys tonight.
Yeah, everybody was fired up. This means a lot. This is actually my first time playing at Ford Field. We needed this one. We really did.
Well, congratulations once again on being our G of the game, presented by G Brand. You can see his hat right here. Now he's going to go celebrate with his team for walking away with the win tonight here at Ford Field. Congratulations, and we'll send it back up to Chad in the booth because we've got another game coming up soon with Cass Tech and King.
All right, awesome work, Carol Wolfbauer. How about it? Nobody more deserving for the G of the game than Shantez Bowie Jr. What a contest, 2 touchdown stick. The final dagger, the big one with 33 seconds left.
Yeah, I kind of feel like we got to give Coach a G of the game hat, too. I mean, to have high school players all focus on you in a big win like this, you can tell he connects with these guys on a whole nother level. But what a great game we got to witness at Ford Field. And we got another one on deck coming up, Cass vs. King.
We certainly do. Outstanding effort by Detroit Central as well. We thank Jimmy Macon, and we wish the Division 7 Trailblazers all the best of luck. Congratulations to the Tars of Detroit Denby. 29-28 winners and come from behind fashion. Want to thank our hardworking and talented crew led by Alex Westfall, your executive producer. For my partner, Sam Stick Day. For Carol Wolfbauer, our sideline analyst, my name's Chad Bush. Saying so long from Ford Field in the Gold Division Championship. It's the Tars of Detroit Denby victorious with the title. We're coming back with King and Cass right after this. Thanks for watching.